Jesus. Oh, my Jesus. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Say the name. Jesus. Jesus. Say the name. Jesus. There's healing in the name of Jesus. Provision in the name of Jesus. Say the name of Jesus. Oh yeah, Jesus. There's power in the name of Jesus tonight. Lord, I thank you that your power is here to heal, to save, to deliver. Touch your people now, God. Just touch them. Be healed in Jesus' name. Oh, we thank you, thank you, and thank you, Lord. All of our fears we lay at your feet, God. Here in your presence, we come to you. We give everything to you.
My God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think that God His Son not sparing sent Him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart. Then I shall bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God
password kẹ.
How great thou art. How great thou art.
Mi ò ní kó béèrè password o. Ẹ jẹ́ n wò. Okay. Oh, kò sí password níbẹ̀. Hello, Lumide. How are you?
Jesus, my shepherd and only provider.
Wow.
He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters.
Ọba lọ́la ti ń sìn.
He restores my soul. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in his house forever until the end of time. Jesus, my shepherd and only provider. You make me lie down in green pastures. You lead me beside the still waters. You restore my soul. Though I walk through the valley of shadows, I will not be afraid. I'm not afraid. Your rod and staff are my only comfort, and you'll be with me always.
For the others.
Yes, we are giving them the grace.
Yes, 10
minutes. Then after that,
over 400 no
You prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and you anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. My cup overflows with your love, with your love. Jesus, my shepherd and only provider. You make me lie down in green pastures.
hey,
You lead me beside the
I
still
want to see you.
waters. You restore my soul.
Even in a land good, we in a land good day. I'm everybody 10 minutes. So what really 10 past 4. I'm out there.
Okay.
So everybody be settled down. We still got like 5 minutes.
5 more minutes. Yeah.
So that we can all settle down now.
Okay.
Raleigh,
When are we finishing today?
until Jesus don't let me say until Jesus comes, but let me say until when we are through, we are going, because we got a lot of things to cover today.
Yeah, because Emma been permission before we know we have a meeting, we have a choir meeting by 6.
Ìyẹn ò sí nínú agenda tiwa o, ẹ máa bára yín sọ privately. Ìyẹn ò sí nínú agenda tiwa o. Okay. We are still. Let me welcome everybody. Sister Eunice, you are welcome. Jack Beam's concept, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
My boss, the RCCGTC, you're welcome. Sister Tolu, you are welcome. My bosses at TRC, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So we're still waiting for others, because it's always a kind of distraction when they are trying to join the meeting. And I think we're doing it this way just because we're being somehow informal. Because in some trainings, when you are being told that it's going to start 4 o'clock, that means you are expected to be around before 4.
And heals all your diseases, who redeems your life from the pit, and crowns you with love and compassion.
We got 2 more minutes. Let me unmute everybody. You're all unmuted now. If you want to greet someone, if you want to say hello, you want to say hi, stay free. We got 2 minutes to do all that. Still got 2 minutes to do that.
And forget not all his benefits. Praise the Lord, oh my soul.
Jack Beams.
And forget not all his benefits. Who forgives all.
Yes.
And heals all your diseases.
Okay. Praise the Lord, oh my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Praise the Lord, oh my soul, and Okay.
forget not all.
Good afternoon, everybody. You are welcome again to this session, the Accelerator Day 2 events. I want to especially appreciate all of you. Can you please hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to appreciate you all for taking time to be part of this, even though I know weekend is a time that we all use for ourselves to prepare for the week and at the same time to relax ourselves. But there is a saying that says, what worth doing well. And that is the reason why I believe you are committed to this, and that's the reason why we've gone beyond what is ordinary as well, to give a content that worth your time and resources put into this. I want to appreciate you for being part of this till the early hour of today. And again, we are starting this. And I want to promise you, we are going to run as fast as possible, even whatever we cannot cover now. One thing I'm promising, especially because this project is designed not just to teach, but to help and to engage entrepreneurs. If there is any way that you want us to discuss anything concerning your project that is personal, if there is anything that you think you need some sort of guidance and advice on how to do and best way to go about it, please feel free to discuss with me privately. And I want to assure you, based on this platform, and even for those that are joining this program, that one way or the other, you don't know me before, I'm giving you this grace that this is a platform that I believe beyond this place, we want to see how this particular experience has been beneficial to what we are doing and ourselves. So feel free, even if you think you don't know me personally, or maybe someone invited you to be part of this platform, if you send a mail or you want to chat me privately, just let me know that based on the Accelerator program, this is what you are doing, this is what you think you want clarification on. And before we go on, I want to say this. Training, I don't want us to just attend trainings. I don't want us to just do things because, okay, Sister Adiola, please go on. I can see you raising up your hand. Go on, ma. Go on. Okay. Maybe I want to take that. Maybe you don't even know that you are raising up your hand. So please, we believe there is a kind of saturation of trainings out there that people organize trainings, people in our quest for knowledge, we just get all sorts of things. But for me, I want to encourage everyone that is part of this to please make use of things that you are getting from this experience. And if you are building anything, I want to please encourage you that this is the period that I believe, even no matter the phase that your project is on now presently, kindly see what you can make use from what we've discussed. And if there are ways, sorry, some people are saying they can't access. Why? So please, sorry, please. I need to quickly respond to this person. She said she cannot access. So please, let's take our time. Let's go through this and let us enjoy this experience together. And going forward, I believe it's going to be beneficial for all of us. People are still saying they cannot access, and this is one of the reasons why I always advise that at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the time, let us come around to settle down for this, so that we don't create distractions even as we go on. So please, for the sake of those who are still saying they cannot access it, I don't know the reason for that. But let me check if there are things, especially for those who were part of the training last night. I think it's only good if we've given them enough opportunity to be part of this, even as we continue today. Thank you. Thank you.
Daddy.
Excuse me, I'm on the training.
Daddy.
I'm on the training.
Oh.
Yes.
Daddy.
Excuse me. Yes.
Mom, so you can have more. Daddy.
I'll tell her to come and give me. Excuse me. I told you. I'll tell your brother. No one. Okay. Now, we are going to start now. And even as we're starting, I want to quickly ask us this. I want people, at least one or two people, to share their experience of the training so far, so that at least we can use that to actually form the direction of where we are going today, even though the content is what we are going to continue with. But if there are ways that we think we need to modify what we are doing, we might need to do that. So I want to quickly give one or two people the opportunity to share their experience so far, what you've gained or what you've discovered in this journey, even as we continue. So please, if you are raising up your hand, for now, you are free to speak, even because now everybody, you can see that on my side here, I didn't mute anyone. So you are free to speak now. Yes. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I want one or two people to share their experience so far. Just maybe few words to let us know maybe we need to modify what we are doing or we should continue in that direction. So, yes. Okay, Sister Diola, please go on. Hello?
Later, I'm eating.
Because I can see your hand being raised. Maybe.
No,
okay.
I did not.
Okay.
I will still raise my hand, but
okay.
I'm eating, sir.
Okay, that's good. That is the beauty of a digital training. We can do all sorts of things. But don't let anyone sleep today, and don't let us distract ourselves at all. Okay? Anyone? Your experience, what you've gained, at least we've dedicated at least 3 hours of our time to this last night, and I want to know if there's anyone who can share one or two things that they've discovered so far, even as we continue talking to entrepreneurs and wanna-be entrepreneurs as well.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. I'm Olumide Abimbola from the Reconciliation Center, CRC. Been a very intensive one. I've learned a whole lot of things, not me alone. People around me too. My colleague here, we've learned a whole lot of things. And I must say, well done to the convener. Thank you for the knowledge that you have imparted so far. It's something that we can't take for granted, because I know how much we will pay if we want to attend such a training outside. So it's a nice one, which we don't take for granted. I just want to say thank you, and God bless you. Yeah, as regards to training, I don't see any reason why we should what's it called? There is no amendment. To me, so far, the training is okay. We are gaining a lot of knowledge, and this week on is even better than last week, which shows that you really put in so much effort and you've done your own, what's it called? Your assignment very well. You did your homework very well. So we've improved. As regards the teaching, we really improved compared to the last, the one we had last week. So I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome, sir. We're happy to have that from an entrepreneur who is also working with us as a project manager. Okay, Sister Rekia, you are welcome. I'm happy that you are finally here.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone.
CCWB, please go on.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
And as Mr. Adekunle just said earlier. We all enjoyed it, and it's a good thing to learn. And for me, I always believe no knowledge is a waste. And what I'll pick up from the training of last night is that one, we should know that entrepreneurship these days is all about mostly about collaboration, that collaboration and networking, especially that this world that we are now, world is changing, and if you actually want to move fast, you need to collaborate. Even for the fact that you are even giving us a training for free, you are actually in one way or the other collaborating as well. Because what I have learned today, if I have a means of telling another person about this training, I know where to channel to direct the person to. So it's about collaboration, and that is the only thing that opened the door. And you also ask us that who amongst us can market himself or herself within 30 seconds. And that is to tell us how important and valuable timing is. That if you meet somebody that is very, very in haste to go somewhere and you just want to take 1 minute or 30 seconds from their time, you should be able to hit the point so that they come back to you. And that even if you are speaking with people within 6 months and you speak to 100%, you should be able to be sure, certain that 50% are definitely coming back to you. That is when you get to know that you are doing something. What again? I think that's what I can still pick out for now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. The reason why I've asked that question is this. I don't want us to be especially for me, I believe a platform like this is not a platform for me to just teach. I can use my word to say some things, but when I give people opportunity to explain what I've related so far, there is this opportunity for me as well to learn from what you are saying. Either you've been able to summarize what I was trying to pass across in a better way, or you've been able to expatiate using your own words. So I don't want us to see me from the point of his teaching based on the fact that he knows. No, I'm sharing what over time I think I know, and at the same time what I've experienced. But I so much believe the way I love to train is to give people opportunity as well to pass something on to me. So when I ask questions, don't just think it's a test that I want to know if you are following me or not. No, I as well want to gain something, because someone might say something in this training and my next training, instead of me to say it the way I've said it in any of my slides here, I might use your word, because a platform like this should give me opportunity as well to see things from another perspective, and for me to as well apply what we are learning. So we are both learning. That is what I'm trying to say. It's a symbiotic thing. As you are learning, myself, I'm learning as well. So let's go on this afternoon. Let's continue. I don't know if there is anyone, because I can see some hands up, but I think some hands are.
Yes.
Okay. Please go on.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. I want to greet every one of us on this meeting, and I want to especially greet our Muslim brothers and sisters that are here. They just finished their fasting. Happy, I don't know what they call it. Is it Eid Kabri or Ramadan Kari?
Eid al-Mubarak.
Eid al-Mubarak. Yes, Eid al-Mubarak. I want to say congratulations. May Allah accept our prayers in Jesus' name.
Amen. I love that.
I want to especially say thank you to our host. I want to say thank you. More grace, more knowledge. I really appreciate. Anytime Adekunle is teaching, honestly, it's just new every morning. Honestly, every day. It's just like it just comes. It's just natural. He's born to do that. And I pray the Lord will take you higher, more than your expectation, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I learned a lot. Even I wrote so many things down yesterday. So when Adekunle now said that we can send our email, he can just send out those things to us. So I learned so many things. I learned about contact lists. I now know the importance of, I have so many clients that unfortunately, have lost their numbers, which is not supposed to be. At times, I will just meet them once I've lost their number, and I will fortunately sometimes when I go out, I will meet them outside and say, I've been calling you. You've changed your number, you've missed your number. So most of the time I lose my customers. But now I realize that even apart from storing the number on the phone, at least you need to have like a book or diary to write them down and to keep inventing on new ideas to reach out is another thing. Like you should not just be limited to what we have known in the 1980 or 1880. You need to invent new ideas, diversify your everything you understand. And to develop techniques and mechanism. And Rakule, when I asked question yesterday about what has been bothering me, he was able to shed more light on it, that even these days, collaboration is very important. As we are today, I can never forget these spaces that I'm looking at, because there will be some point in time that I will say, okay, I want to do something. I will now say, okay, Brakule, can you give me Sister Rekia's number? I think she knows how to bake. That is how we know each other. Or if I want to appreciate my husband in a new way, in a unique way more than I used to, I will just say, okay, give me reconciliation. So number, so it's like we are knowing each other, and I really thank God. We once we are just listening to thousands of people, they will first of all buy form. They will first of all do the application. You understand? And you are giving us free of charge. And I know the Lord will reward you back in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, sir.
Amen. Thank you so much, my dear sister.
Okay. Can I say something for a few seconds?
Okay, Ajia, please go on.
Okay. Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
I just want to say, honest conversation. I've not really been able to participate fully through the training because at the early hours around 10, I'm already exhausted. You know how Lagos is full of stress. By the time I do my daily activity, by the time I want to rest, then the training, before you know, nature will call me. Then I forget the phone to the next day. It's not funny, to be honest, because I look forward to this training and I really want to improve on what I do currently. So I know I've lost a lot. I don't know if some of the contact people can exchange idea with me. That is one. Then I'm still expecting the PowerPoint via email. That is true. Then thirdly, I want to also request for if you can have our data, our profiles, all the participants, so we can understand at what point can we actually collaborate. Because if you don't understand what we do, I've been hearing from you guys, and I know everybody's busy where they are. At what point can we collaborate? How much do we know what individuals, each of the participants are into? So that's the three things I just want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ajia. Concerning the slides, all the materials that we are going to use or the one we've used last week, the one we are using this week, the one we are going to use next week, we are going to share with all the participants. I'm going to forward all those things to you electronically. And thank you for your contribution. And, I believe I'm also learning as well. Okay, I think TLC is they are raising their hands. Let me put it that way, because there are many. So, Olumide, are you saying something, please?
Yep. Those are, we have spoken before.
Okay. Are you raising up your hand? Do you want to say something?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No.
I think I need to lower those hands now. Yes. We are getting used to this all the time. Even though as a trainer, I think
I am raising my hand, though, not because I have talked before. I'm
okay. Honorable Elawa, please go on, sir.
Two things I quickly want to say.
Okay.
Like my sister, Sister Ricky had just said she missed some things. I think I want to channel her or direct her to our church YouTube page that she can find the video of yesterday there. And presently we are streaming live as well. that they can also check on YouTube, and they can also, even as they are here, they can let their friends know about this. This is another part of collaboration that we're talking about, that even if they are there presently in the meeting during the training, some people can actually be viewing and listening to what is going on, and they will be also learning as well. So from the YouTube, they can search RCCG TCWB, and Facebook, they can search Testimony Chapel TCWB. There, both sides, they will find the video going on presently now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that. For that explanation. Is a wonderful one. Let me quickly talk about the collaboration that we are talking about. I'm happy that one of the reasons why we set out to do this project is being achieved based on what you are saying now. The feedbacks that we are having, that people are even happy to meet one another. People are looking beyond this time, like what Sister Rekia said. Like we need to know ourselves the more, and I believe if you have our contact, if you have other things that you think we should have from my end here, we can even create a kind of database that makes us to even share what we do, and we can know ourselves better based on that. And again, this project is a product of collaborations. I believe I think 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was speaking at a conference organized by the TLC, where, in fact, I think a whole week, and I spoke like 3 times there, where we shared together. And now that we are having something like this as well, somebody from TLC, the team lead over there, is the project manager, and we've been packaging this together from last week. Even before last week, we've been doing this. Some of the adverts, some of the flyers that we've seen, they have been produced by them to even to support this program and to promote it. And the project is dear to them. They just believe, oh, if so person is doing this, for me, I see myself as one of the team at TLC, and so many of you as well. I believe IGRA, she's not a new entrepreneur. I think we've been on this together for a very long time, where we discuss business, even when we were in our office in Ikoyi, then when I was in Lagos, and we discuss, I share her dreams. She's somebody that is passionate about business, about service as well. And so many of us that we are here, we are going to collaborate, we are going to do things together. And that is the reason why we must get it right. If every one of us, if we get it right one way or the other, we realize that the kind of future that we want to see, the kind of life that we want to live, we'll be able to execute some of these things effortlessly. And that is the idea behind this. And going forward, even like my brother said, that you can go on YouTube at RCCG Testimony Chapel. No, those guys, they've been fantastic. The media team of our church, that is my home church here in United Kingdom. They've been fantastic supporting this, promoting this with us. They believe that it's not just we are doing this program for some set of people, that how can we amplify what we got? And that is the reason why they provided the platform of the church, even taking a big risk, not minding that, okay, what if you come here, we don't know those who are hosting, and if they start saying things that are not in resonance with what we believe as Christians. But they believe this is what we're doing, because the idea is, can we bless many people? So if peradventure after this event, you still want to go on YouTube, rccg.tcwb, and Testimony Chapel on Facebook, RCCG Testimony Chapel on Facebook, you see all this content there. You can share with people. You yourself, you can go over again. And more than that, I promise I'm going to forward all these materials to you that you can read and use your own words, even as you apply some of these things to what you do. So going forward today, we discussed a lot yesterday, and I don't want to go back there because I know you have the material. So going forward today, I just think it is just normal for us to move as fast as possible, because I don't want us to leave so many things uncovered. So one of the questions that you should ask yourself as a business owner, or as an entrepreneur, or as someone who got an idea and you are trying to execute that idea, is you should learn how to review your business through some hard questions. The first question you should ask yourself is, am I good enough for this? One can have an idea, you can know how something can be done. You know there is a need in a particular environment. You know if a business is situated in a particular community, that business is going to thrive, that business is going to flourish. But let me say this, it is just beyond you locating a market. It is beyond you locating a market. It is beyond you thinking, oh, you know what? I got what it takes to do this. It is about you asking yourself the very first question is, am I good enough for this thing I'm trying to do? Am I good enough? The second question you should ask yourself is that, what is the way forward if things go wrong? Most times as entrepreneurs, we don't emphasize that because of the excitement of saying, oh, the capital is available. People are telling me I should start bringing this thing. Okay, they ask us, oh, they are buying this thing. They are buying, let me use Uman here, for instance now. If I go to China, I can see it cheaper there. The company is asking me to come. They want to give it to. But at a time like this, even if anybody is saying I'm going to China, people will look at you like, is this one normal? So it's part of the things that entrepreneurs should emphasize, that what if this thing that I'm taking from China it can no longer come from China for a period of time? What happens to my business? So we should plan. Don't let us say, oh, you are being negative. Business should give you opportunity to reason beyond your comfort. Don't just reason based on positive things alone. Think of the negative as well. It's permitted in business. There is a difference between you thinking on it and acting on it. You think, what if this? The reason why you are thinking that is just that you are just preparing ahead of time that if this should happen, this is how we are going to tackle it. This is how we are going to respond to it. So, and as you are setting out, you should ask yourself as well, what is working and what is not working? Because you can't afford to consistently spend your money, spend your energy, your time, and everything on something that is not working. If a strategy is not working, know that it's not working. If you think, oh, there is something that I believe we can do to make it work, yes, you can. It is better for you to do that thing to make it work. So if it's not working, you should ask yourself consistently, in this thing that I'm trying to do, what is working? What is not working? It is when you identify what is working that you can add more effort, that you can increase the intensity. When you identify what is not, that is when you can actually fix that thing. So these are the questions that as an entrepreneur, you must learn how to answer. So now we move to discipline to develop. Entrepreneurship is not for lazy minds. That is the first point there. You know, I said part of this yesterday. Entrepreneurship is something that is so exciting. It's so beautiful for you to, if you are the one running your business, that you know that, oh, all this effort, all this jumping around, shouting, going about, you know you are doing it for yourself. But it is not for a lazy mind. If you are lazy about entrepreneurship, you realize that you will just be spending money, you just be spending time, and you realize that nothing is coming. And when we are talking about, it's not for lazy mind. Laziness not in terms of physicality alone. Laziness in terms of your mentality. You must be someone who is not lazy when it comes to thinking. Because you come across people that taking time to think is a serious job for them. So you must be someone that is not lazy doing that. And again, you must be someone who is ready to go all out. One of the best ways to know if something is your calling, if that job is for you, is how passionate you are about that thing. Somebody was asking me that you spoke for 3 hours nonstop. I told them, I said, you know what? This is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about education. I'm passionate about sharing the little I know. Not that from that last night till early hour of this morning, I have been to my church again to play my part in the assignment that God has committed to my hand in His house. So it's something that as immediately we finished very early this morning, the next thing I did was that I know I will be doing something this morning. I have to go and learn again. I have to go and confirm again. I have to go and check few things again. So as an entrepreneur, like I used to say, there is something related that is being written by someone who is more experienced in your sector. How ready are we to read? There are things that you might not grab even as I'm talking now, but there are things that if you try to locate the kind of materials that are related to what you are trying to build, there are people who are more experienced. Someone said something, he said, it is through books that we enjoy intercourse with superior minds. There are people that we might, so people you might not even meet one-on-one in life, people that your paths might never cross, but books will give you the opportunity to enjoy, to have access to them. I've come across great guy that says, somebody is my mentor, somebody is my role model. And I asked them, do you know them? And I later realized that these guys were just reading, they've devoted time to reading about these guys. So you must be someone who is consistently doing that. Another thing that we said yesterday is, and I'm repeating that again, this slide is, CEO is a responsibility, not a title. And for an entrepreneur to get result, you must treat it as such. It is a responsibility. It is not a title. You cannot just go around be telling people, you know what, I'm a CEO, I'm this, I'm that. No, it is a responsibility. What you are doing part-time makes you a CEO, not what you are thinking in your head. Another thing is that it is not an escape route to independence. Thank God one of my sisters mentioned this yesterday, like, I want to be on my own yet. You realize by the time you start running your own business that you are fixing what you need to fix, that you want to run a structure that is standard, is that you don't even have that freedom that you are asking for. If your business depends on other people to produce some part of of the things that you offer your market, you realize that consistently you are at the mercy of people who are to produce for you, people who are to supply you, people who are even working for you. Let's say you want to have a company, you want to have a recruitment agency, or you want to have anything that you need to rely on other people to work for you or to do things for you. You realize that you are not totally dependent, because all the time your mind is there, like you don't want these people to disappoint you. So being a CEO is a serious job that you don't even have your time. If when you are working for someone, you can boast of having up to 6 hours, up to 8 hours to yourself in a day, you realize that being a CEO might take that away from you if truly you understand what you are doing and you are doing it the way you should do it. People will say, oh, don't work hard, work smart. I believe in people who are working smart. I believe in people who are working hard, because entrepreneurship is a combination of working hard and working smart. You realize that if you are in this journey, you work more as an entrepreneur than an employee. And that's why I'm telling you that those of us that we've decided that this is a journey for us, we have to rip up the straitjacket that we built for ourselves, and we have to get to work. What is that straitjacket? We think, oh, I just go there. You are not dictating what is happening in the market. You need people. You need to work with other people. If you don't move according to time, people will move and they will leave you where you are. So that is the reason why you come across some guys that, if their job permits it, they don't even have time to dress in a flashy way. They don't really have time for that, because they just have to be on their toes. The job must just go on. Another thing that we must understand as we discuss discipline to develop is, to be a CEO, to be an entrepreneur that is getting results, you have to fix whatever is wrong with your attitude. Being an entrepreneur is a mindset. It's a mindset that will make many people to come around you, to work with you, to work for you, or even as an entrepreneur, you might be working for some people. I find myself in a sector that I look at myself, can I call myself an entrepreneur? One of the difficulties that I encounter when we are starting out is what to even call myself. In my industry, there are so many titles. If you are the one who is leading the team, some they prefer to be creative director, some prefer to be CEO, some prefer to be team lead, some prefer to be lead strategist. I was thinking, what should I be? Because I was thinking of, the more I think of all these titles, the more I was thinking like, oh, this is a big load that I want to carry myself. So immediately you've decided to carry that load of entrepreneurship as the lead, as the owner of a business, have that attitude that it is a serious thing. There are so many persons in you alone there are so many roles that you must learn how to play. You are a customer service agent, you are a sales representative, you are a marketer. That means you must know how to sell yourself. You must know how to pacify a customer that is angry. You must be a very good salesperson. You must be somebody, let's say what you are doing entails you taking product around that, or you need to move your team around. You cannot afford to depend on somebody driving you around. What happened if that person decides to say, okay, because of what happened, I don't want to do this job again today? People will always come up with different attitude. So you must prepare yourself in a way that you can do so many things. And one of the ways to do that is just what I always tell entrepreneurs is just that when you have people who are working your team, don't see yourself as the boss that they come to work for me. You need to learn from them, because one day that guy might not be there. And when people realize that what they are doing for you, you got the capacity to do some of these things yourself, you realize that people tend to stay in your team longer than when you don't know how to do some of the things they are doing. Because they know if they need to negotiate with you, you sit together to negotiate, not people threatening you that, you know what, this is your key, because they know you cannot drive. Somebody can give your system to you to say, you know, go and do your slide yourself if you think you know how to do it. You have a presentation, some people, they fix a meeting for you, and you are telling somebody that I think this slide should be ready because you are presenting it to our client, and that person look at you like, do you think it's very easy? Even you are pissing me off, I'm not doing this job again, and you just have like 10, 20 minutes. So for a CEO who cannot, you can't do a slide by yourself, you know it's going to be a serious thing. And another part of fixing your attitude is just that as an entrepreneur, you depend on people for your business to flourish. If you have any attitude that is negative, that will not make people to feel comfortable around you, you have to fix it. If you really want to do it, I tell you, entrepreneurship is something that you must do well to get results. It is time consuming, and you cannot afford to be in that journey and not getting desired results. So we must do it well. So another thing you must learn how to do as an entrepreneur, I've said this before, is that you must think, consistently think. You can see this slide, that thinking will illuminate your heart. It will illuminate your head when you take time to think. And the beauty of thinking is that thinking is free. So you have to do it often. Thinking is free, and you must do it very often. Another thing I always like entrepreneurs to understand is just that the next big thing for your business can come so easy, can come so small, might not even look like a major thing. Some of the ideas that we are celebrating around the world today, they are ideas that came so small that the owner just think like, let me just do this. And people embrace some of these things. The platform that we are using now, it wasn't a platform of do or die for the inventor, for the entrepreneur that started this. Facebook and so many of them, they were things that, okay, just came to them and they want to experiment. So an entrepreneur is somebody that is consistently thinking, and you have this mind to experiment as well. And for the fact that something appears, so when you, in the process of thinking, that idea can just click in your mind that this business that I'm doing, if I add this thing to it, we can go this way. Don't think, oh, is it that easy? The beauty of entrepreneurship is that what comes easy to you might be the key that will give you that breakthrough in business. I got so many experiences of that it might be a topic for another day. But don't just think, oh, somebody is on Facebook and somebody is thinking like, oh, we are just whiling away time, we are just playing. Yes, we play on Facebook, but as an entrepreneur, I think even when you're on social media, you should be deliberate. You should be deliberate, knowing fully well that anything can come anywhere. Even though you are spending money on your advert, you are doing this, you are doing that, you've done a lot on your branding. The business, the deal that will give you breakthrough in business might just come from a platform that you don't even expect it to come from. It might come from a silly post. I have seen people that made funny comments on other people's posts on social media, and that is how they got to know them. So what I'm saying is that you must you must be able to think and let your mind be open to ideas. I can see somebody trying to join us. I don't know him or her, so I might not be able to admit that person. If you know anyone that is No, I think Nasiru Rahman. Please let me know.
She's my niece. I asked her to join the platform just now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, because you thank God that you. I don't know if you are part of the training last week, but okay, you are there. Some people they started playing funny, so that's why I'm being careful. I'm sorry about that. So,
thank you, sir.
Like I've said, that you should take your time to build your strategy as well. Own your strategy and do have a keys. What we call keys in management is keep it simple and sensible. Your strategy, you know what you need to do per time. You want to write it down. Keep it simple. So that even if you need to build a team, if you need to share with anybody, it's not seriously complicated. One of the ways that entrepreneurs even discourage themselves is to start by building something that is too difficult for even they themselves to interpret. So you have to learn how to keep things simple and sensible. That if you share with anybody, if you share with your team, they know where you are going, they know what you are trying to do. The last part of it, when we are talking about thinking, is if you are using a strategy and if it is not working, if that strategy is not working, try it again. Don't let us be that person that entrepreneurship is for people who can persevere, people who are consistent, who are committed, people who are determined. The problem with many of us is just that, today, people know that you are selling this water and you've been spending resources, you've been spending your money, your time, your energy, everything, promoting your water. But maybe the time you are promoting water is a rainy season. Or maybe there are people in that same market with you that they've done a lot of work before you start promoting your thing that is not forthcoming. At the point where when that strategy should start paying you, should start giving you dividend, bringing returns on investment for you, that is where you've jumped to something else. And that is the reason why I don't take some entrepreneurs serious. If I ask you today, what do you do? And you are telling us that you are selling books. Tomorrow you are selling water. Not that you are diversifying to those things, that you are not selling what we know last year again. You are selling something entirely different. Following that, they ask you, what are you selling? You are selling clothes. Now, not that you've decided to add shoes to clothes. You are not selling clothes again, and you are not selling shoes. You've decided that you want to go and sell, you want to sell candle, or you want to start selling flowers. There are times that as an entrepreneur, you need this mindset that it might not work the first time, it might not work the second time, it might not even work the fifth time. And the beauty of it is that the one that will work, you will start with just exactly the way you started the one that didn't work. The place where they've said so many no to you, that you've taken your proposal to, that they've said no. The same way you will take the proposal that will give you breakthrough to, and you realize that you are doing something big. One thing that we've seen over time is just that people will just ask themselves that, what is it that we've done now that we've not done before? Something that you've done now is the fact that you have been consistent. You've persisted to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to give up. If you are someone that at every little provocation or disappointment, you give up, the journey of entrepreneurship is not for you. You have to have that understanding. If you are someone that, there is this slogan that some people make, that I cannot die. When you see people who are into entrepreneurship, there are people who can tell you that they are using their blood and water, everything in their body system, to promote what they do. It is not easy. What you are trying to do for yourself, you want to build an empire, you want to build something, especially for those of us that we have this mindset of saying, okay, it's not that maybe we want to force our kids to do what we are doing, but we just as well also think like, okay, this journey can start from us as well, to create something that even when our kids choose to work for other people, is because maybe they want to practice their profession, but they too, they can point to something that, this is what our parents have done as well, that this is what we can do. So you should persist, you should continue to build, you should take your time and have it in mind that it will work one day. The reason why I've decided to use Lightbulb, especially on this slide, is the story of Thomas Edison. If somebody started something and did it more than 1,000 times before he got results, when we are talking of electric bulb, people are referring to him as a genius. For me, I don't believe that Thomas Edison was a genius. Thomas Edison was just a committed inventor. a committed person who was totally committed to getting result, and he got that result, and we are all celebrating today. That is the story of entrepreneurship. That is the story of you inventing your idea. If you are persistent and you are committed to it, I tell you, even years after, generations after you realize that that thing is still relevant, and people, they continue to reference what you've done. But it's not going to come easy. The market is so clumsy. The market is so busy that when you come, there are, we are just like tiny fish. There are sharks, there are whales in the water that they were just waiting. Who are you? They just want to attack. And we should plan, and we should be consistent. We don't think that, okay, you want to take somebody's customer. Those people that you want to sell to, they've been buying somewhere before. They've been patronizing some people before. You want to get their attention. You want to divert. Entrepreneurs, they are disruptors. What do I mean by disruptors? They are people who got the capacity to break the movement, to say, this is the way the market is flowing. Let me disrupt the market so that it can flow in another angle, and me too can quickly take advantage of what is happening there. So you must persist and you must be consistent. Sister Adela, are you raising up your hand, ma?
No.
Are you raising up your hand?
No.
Okay. When we're talking about thinking, the first phase of thinking for you as an entrepreneur is common sense analysis. Common sense analysis. What is that common sense? This is what we are trying to do. This is what I'm building. This is the reason why I'm doing it. Most times, entrepreneurs, they choose to be blind. If you go to the market based on emotions, thinking, oh, they just have to buy, they just have to accept me the way I am, you realize that things might not work the way it should work. Common sense analysis in the sense that you yourself ask yourself things, take yourself out of the picture, ask yourself, if somebody is selling this thing to me, if I am, let's say, I am not the owner of this business now, someone else is the owner, but they are marketing this to me to buy. Analyze that thing. Find fault in it. I always say this, find fault in what you are doing before people start finding fault. If you find those faults in what you are doing, you can easily fix it. So by the time you invite people, you realize that the fault that they will be finding in what you are doing, some of the things that they might actually ask you to fix, you've been able to fix it. But sometimes we are too emotional as entrepreneurs. Some people, even when we are doing something, we don't want anybody to criticize what we are doing. Do you know there are jobs that I've come across even growing up that I realized that, so there are jobs like this. Some people get paid because they want them to criticize ideas. If you go to people who are in creative industry, in movie sector, where even people in advertising, when an advert is created, they pay some people huge amount of money to criticize that advert. And I know what that means. I am a copywriter. I write copies for people. I write copy for advertising company. And before I even move to this, before I move to having my own base to say, okay, this is my structure, I know even when you write something, you don't just write thinking like, oh, what I've written for this guy. You don't think, oh, what I've written for them, you cannot get it anywhere. So they just have to have it. Sometimes you must create that space to say, you know what? I want people to criticize this. People in the movie sector, when they finish production, before they take it to cinema, before they start taking it around for other people to see, they ask some people to come and criticize what they've done. So that if there are clips they need to cut away, if there is a scene that doesn't really make sense, they ask people, oh, what is, and they are open to receive this criticism. Don't let us see it like, oh, when people criticize what I'm doing, it's because they don't like me. As an entrepreneur, it's good for you to have this mindset like, let people who are close to me, let them criticize what I'm doing. Because market over there, market will not criticize what you are doing. They just move away. You don't know them. Another thing I do tell people is that keep the original plan in mind. And keep the original plan. As you are going to the market, you've designed your plan. This is what we want to do. I tell you, Before you take 5 steps, you face the reality in that your market. You realize that the plan that you've written might not actually be applicable. And that was the reason why I told you yesterday that prepare yourself to improve on the spot. But even if you are changing anything, keep the original plan, because that could be the game changer for you as time goes on. Another thing when you are thinking is that admit if something was a fluke. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we do some things and that thing just click. Maybe with my family, I traveled to Singapore now on holiday and I saw something there and I decided to bring to United Kingdom and people start buying it. And I just tell my wife that, you know what? I can resign my job to be selling that thing. Entrepreneurship doesn't work that way. Some things you can do that thing just work that way. By the time you think, oh, you don't take your time to plan it, you just say, oh, I think people will buy this thing, and you put a lot of money into it. That is when you realize that not just a single item will be sold. And you start asking yourself that, we brought this and our friends, they bought it. The people in our church, people in our mosque, they ask us, when next you have this? Admit if something was a fluke. And you don't build your business based on fluke. So you have to think through to know and to decide for yourself. The last part of the first phase of thinking is, if you have an idea that is good that you want to work on, that you want to go and you want to flow based on what you've done, send it down to the boys in forensic if not working well. If you think an idea is not working well, send it down to the boys in the forensic. Who are the boys in the forensic? People like me. That is what we tell people in our firm. That is what we say, that you know what, the same way that you people go to see the doctor and you are the one that something is wrong with, but they will be telling you what is wrong with your body and you are not contesting it, you are not arguing with them. That is the same way you should allow consultant to work on your business. When you take your business to a firm that you want them to market it for you, or you want them to package your idea for you, yes, this is your idea, but have this ability that people can come around to work on what you are doing, to make it better, to make it solid for you. Especially at this point in time that every other person, if you ask, they are entrepreneurs, they are doing this, they are doing that. I tell you, it's going to be good. It's going to give you a competitive advantage if what you are trying to sell to the market, you've decided to give to others as well to have their input. It's not just about you, because sometimes we can be emotional. You can just try to do it and you just think, oh, this will work. But when we give it to another person as well, maybe they are going through our plans, because they are not the one in the picture, it will give them the opportunity to rightly criticize and rightly think that, oh, this is what I'm paid to do. And my client must get result, because they know that if they didn't deliver, if they fail to deliver, you are not coming back or you are not giving them referrals. So learn to forward it to people. If you cannot afford to pay whatever they are charging, if there are ways that you can talk to people to say, okay, you know what, I think I want to do this, but we cannot afford it. If one way or the other, they realize this is something that they want to go on with, that they want to do for you, but have it in mind that your business should not just be about you. If you are selling it to so many people, you have it in mind to sell it to a larger audience, that you want people to patronize what you are doing. Don't make what you are doing to be everything about you, that you are the one that decide everything need to say. Try to sample opinions and give other people the opportunity of working with you on what you've done. Okay? Yes. The second phase thinking is advice. Advise yourself as well. People can advise you, advise yourself. Heed your own counsel. Sometimes if your God is telling you that, you know what, do it this way, do it that way, don't just think, oh, we've been working on this for a very long time, there is no need to be wasting time, I just want to do it. And when you even take time to talk to yourself, make sure that you give yourself the opportunity of processing that thing that you are trying to analyze, And if you are canceling yourself, make use of your own counsel. The last part of it is don't die in silence. If you think at that point in time you need to speak out to get help for what you are doing, please do. Okay, now let's now go on. Setting out. As an entrepreneur, you are ready to set out now. You write your movement down and you get a manual. Remember that I said something like that yesterday? You write it down, write your movement down, and get a manual. What that means is that you have a manual designed for what you are set to do. You know what you want to do part time. So when things are not working, or you think you are a bit confused at a point, you can visit that thing. You can go back. Everyone that you see that is building something, be it in reconstruction company or anywhere that they are building something meaningful, you realize that they don't just stand and be building to say, okay, we are just building. We know that we have that picture. When you talk to an architect to discuss a building, they first conceive that idea in their mind. They won't tell you, okay, I got this idea in my mind, take me to your builder. I will just tell that person. The first thing they do is to translate the picture. They just, all the rooms that you see in your house, everything that makes that house a beautiful place that you really appreciate, an architect, they've conceived that picture in their minds. And they don't say, okay, let me go and pass it on to the person that will build the house for you verbally. What they do is to translate that picture into tangible illustration on a paper for you to see, that you call a design. It is that design that they put to another person. A builder, a building technologist will look at what has been designed by an architect. They see what they are trying to say, then they build based on that. So the same thing is applicable for you as an entrepreneur. If you consulted people, if you have a picture, anything that you want to do, you translate it to something that you can read. Someone asked me a question recently and said, why is it that most of the businesses, especially from Africa, some of them don't live beyond the owners of those businesses? I said, because some of those businesses, they were just being built based on the fact that they were opportune. They were at the right place at the right time. Someone just asked them, can you do this thing? And they gave them contract, they gave them money, and they started to build something. They made money through a funny way, and they decided to put it. Every serious person that you've taken your time to build a business, you should be sure that this business can outlive you. You know why? Because there is a plan for the business. Because there is a manual that even as you are building, every other person that is joining you to build, they can check what you are doing part time. Even if you are not there again, if they are still in that phase of building, they can continue from where you've stopped. They can still build for you, even when you are not there. And that is the reason why I said the other time that don't replace the original. I don't know Samuel. I don't. Okay. Let's see. Another thing, setting out, we must understand how this work. Multitasking versus rapid sequential tasking. Some people got the capacity to do many things together. They can do many things at a time. Some people cannot do it. Some people, the only thing they know how to do is to finish one before they do another one. Oh, we got 5 things that we need to do, even as we've set out.
I know Samuel, sir.
Okay, ma. Yes, thank you. Some people, they can multitask. Some people can do so many things. They can put their hands like as they are doing this, they are doing that. Don't do your own based on what another person is doing. Do it based on what you've written, what is in your manual. If your strategy is to do things sequentially, make sure that you follow through that. And sometimes you even check at some plans, you check at the strategy being deployed by an entrepreneur, you cannot even say this is what they are using. Because as they are jumping from here, they are jumping to another one. They can't even be specific. So if you want to multitask, understand yourself that you've spoken to yourself, remember where we are coming from, that you know you got the capacity to do that. But for me, I'm one of those people that love to finish one thing before I move to another one. When I see people who can do so many things at a time, I do appreciate them. But my own is just that I want to do something. I look at it very well. Some people believe that you spend much time on that, But for me, if I'm sure that I'm done with that, I'm through with it, I'm not going back to that for now because I know it's perfectly fine. That is good for me. So I try to use that. Another part of it, the last part of it, that say, for you as an entrepreneur, even as you are setting out, put your effort in things that bring feasible result. In things that bring feasible result. Don't forget, yesterday when I was talking about do things that you can reward yourself. One of the reasons why entrepreneurship is frustrating is that people tend to do things that they cannot actually see result. For me, I love to do things in a way that we can see visible result. Spend time on that. Spend time on things that you can actually measure your progress. You can say, okay, this is where we are, this is where we started, this is where we are, this is where we are going. That will surely motivate you as you continue the journey. Because when you look back, you realize where you are coming from, and you can say, oh, this is where we are going, and it will continue to motivate you because you can see what you are doing. That is what is called life's mind statement that is always advisable for every entrepreneur to do. What is a life's mind statement? In entrepreneurship, this is a statement, this is a design that you've done for yourself to say, okay, based on what I've discovered, based on what I'm doing, what I know about myself, research I've done so far, I want to build a life's mind statement. Like the name entails, as the journey is going, this thing is going to put smile in your mind. It's going to make you to look around to be proud of what you are doing if you can do it right. And one of the best way to build your life's mind statement is understand who you are. Decide your own style. You have to decide your own style. Even if that business is being passed to you, let's say by your parents, and you understand this is another generation, this is a modern era that we do things differently, you have to decide how you are going to flow in the current market. The way people sold some things last year is not the way those things are being sold now. Things are changing every day. The market dynamics is that people follow trends. It is normal for every business, especially the modern market that we have now. People follow trends. So you as a person, you have to decide your own style. What is your style? In this business, what have you decided to use that when people come in contact with what you are doing, they know this is you? And part of the way to form your life's mind statement as well is to know, what do I really want? What am I actually looking for? What do I really want doing this? You must get that. And you make a pledge. We're talking about commitment, we're talking about perseverance, we're talking about you being focused, staying focused. You have to make a pledge. You have to make a pledge based on what you've been able to decide for what. Immediately you realize that this is what you want, this is what I'm trying to achieve. You make a pledge. What is that pledge? Pledge, just like, how do I put it now? Pledge, just like, I know it's a kind of motivation for yourself that you consistently tell yourself that I set out to do this. This is who I am. I must get it done. Another one is that you make a vision board and set your focus on it. A vision board simply means what this whole thing is all about, and you place it in a place that you know you will always see it. Even when you are discouraged, when you know where you are going, when it appears as if you are confused, when it appears as if you are distracted, you know where you are going, and you fix your gaze. And you don't allow things to deviate you. Another one is to, even as you write your life's mind statement, is always hold a board meeting with yourself. As an entrepreneur, if you want to get result, you must consistently talk to yourself. And one of the ways to do it is just that in a board meeting, we ask ourselves questions that we need to ask ourselves. When we need to fix things, that is a place where we get serious with ourselves. That is the place where we don't mess around. When you are in a board meeting, especially if you are servicing a client, for those of us that what we are doing is related to servicing clients, when you have an account and maybe I'm being asked to come on a project to push a campaign, and they are not getting the things I told them, okay, one way or the other, we believe that the first 6 months you should get this and this and this as your result. These are the return on investment that you have to expect. And all those things are not forthcoming. They will question me. So as you yourself as an entrepreneur, especially somebody that is just setting out, you must consistently hold a board meeting, not with people now, with yourself. In your board meeting, you ask yourself questions like, Kunle, can I justify the money I am putting to this? Can I justify my seriousness, the time I am putting to this? One thing I've come across in the United Kingdom, every time we engage entrepreneurs is this. They want to know one thing. How many hours can you dedicate to working on this thing? If you approach a bank today, that is one of the questions, especially for those of us that we are here, that you are having that in mind. They will ask you. So you better get it right even before you talk to them. Because by the time you give them things, some of these guys, they know how they work in their boardroom, they know how they do things, and you just come casually, even though they know that the proposal that you brought, you've given to expert to design for you, you are pushing it to them, but they know how they want to catch you, they know what they want to ask you as well, and they are asking you like, how many hours can you dedicate to work on your business? You are telling people that, okay, I remember there was a project I was being asked to be part last year, and I went there. And the lady was asking me, how many hours can you dedicate to it? I told her, I said, this is my life. And that was the end of it. I said, this is my life. I don't have any other thing I'm doing. You see us that we are spending money to build a structure, to put something over there. That is my life. Because sometimes some of them even ask you, they want to know if you got other means. Because they know, by the time you let them know that, this is where I'm coming from, even I'm still working, and they know how much you are earning, they see you like somebody that this one is never going to be serious doing this. If you give this one money, because this one is not desperate for success, they see that we cannot afford to put our money here because they know they cannot get their money back, or it's going to be difficult to have it back. So one of the ways to get some of these things right is when you consistently have this meeting with yourself. Before you even access a loan, hold this board meeting that, you know what, people's money, people are going to, if you are even seeking funding that you want to raise money to pursue that thing, you ask yourself, there are relationships that, business packing up, so many things can happen to a relationship because of money. You want to ask people to put all their life savings in what you are doing, you hold a board meeting with yourself that do you think I should do this? I once had an experience like this in Lagos that we packaged a concert, and the guy was so desperate that we should do this. He was so desperate, and I was thinking, the area that he wants me to go, I have never done something related to that. All the parties that may have attended or planned, they are normal parties, like family parties, things like that. And he said we should hold a concert. And we started looking for money. That time I was looking forward to my wedding as well. And my wife was saying, oh, what if we put this money? I said, you know what? Don't let us put that money, because that might be the end of the wedding that you are looking forward to. So let us, because I don't know how things was going. At the end of the day, we brought so many of us together to push this. Later, we realized that the guy just allowed us to put our resources into what he had little or no experience. And that's severe so many relationships. Some of us, we decide to say, oh, this is not the person that we want to continue doing things with. So before you ask people to be part of what you are doing, before you even launch out, before you put your personal savings into this as well, you have to hold this meeting and consistently do it to know that you are not deceiving yourself, or you are not being moved by emotions. Maybe you just saw a guy that just came around to tell you, oh, I got 2 businesses and I'm driving Ferrari, I'm driving a Lamborghini. Maybe that is the motivation. Maybe that is the reason why you are saying, oh, I just have to leave my job to go and do this. So you need to have this meeting with yourself to decide how things will move and what you are doing. Okay. Another thing I want to quickly say is that you should not confuse movement for progress in entrepreneurship. Some people are so busy that they are moving that they ask you, I got this business, and you see them everywhere. I'm doing this. Some people can tell you that they are doing 20 things together at a time. There is difference between movement and progress in entrepreneurship. In project management, we call it progressive expansion. we call it systematic elaboration. If you are moving, you know, based on the plans, based on everything that we decide, the manual that we are using to operate, we are getting results. We are increasing. This is the idea. This is what we are able to do now. We are expecting something that will make us to do this and this, to add these two to it. If we add these two to it, then we can do these 3 and 4. That is progress. Some entrepreneurs, they are not actually making profit, but they are selling. There is difference between you selling and making profit. Some people, they are so fixated with, oh, people are buying what we are selling. But as an entrepreneur, in your board meeting, when you are discussing with your team or discussing with yourself, you should get that right. That even though we are getting things, can we justify what we are putting into this? That is the only way you will not be disappointed at the end of the day. In this slide, I'm talking about actions over activities. You need serious actions. Some people can, people can be busy, and you realize that they are just being busy and they are not doing anything meaningful. And you put outcome over output. What do I mean about outcome over output? Don't be confused with that. Output means something will definitely come out of what you are doing. But is that your desired outcome? The end of it, is that what you are expecting? Something is going to come out. But is what has come out what you plan for? Is that what you are actually working towards? And business is not you just being busy. There are things that some people don't know. There are entrepreneurs that they plan their days, they plan their movement in a way that they don't wake up very early to go out like every other person, because there is no point going to places or designing your movement just to prove to people that you are busy. Some people, they've mastered their time so well that they know what they need to do part time. They know when their clients or their customers, when they are expecting that, and they work based on that. So the last part of it says, understand yourself, your brand, and your market. So to do all these things that we are talking about, it is a must that you must do that. And you should keep it in mind as well that thing changes and there is no static market. That market that you are planning to go tomorrow, even tomorrow is Monday, today is Sunday, the market that you are going tomorrow, Monday, you won't meet it the way you left that market on Friday. If not, you won't see stock exchange market. You won't see people focusing on a particular screen, monitoring market around the world, checking what is going on around the world. So you have it in mind as well that there is no static market and you must keep up with what is going on in your market. And have it in mind that this journey starts with you and ends with you. What do I mean? The in-between is what you should fix. You are the one, you've decided that, okay, I want to do this. This is what we want to do. This is the business we want to put money to. This is the business I want to put my energy into because we want to get results. It starts with you, your idea. You are the initiator. You are the inventor here. And it ends with you. Why that ends with you is just that at the end of the day, the outcome, you are either going to say, wow, this really worked out, and everybody starts celebrating you. You yourself start celebrating your success, or the end, the end part of it is something that is not good enough. And I have seen people that because they put a lot of money to a business and the business didn't work, and that started affecting their health, and through that, their loved ones, family, they cannot even have the best of them. Some of them, they start having a problem health-wise that it becomes an issue. And even some people lost their lives based on that. Because entrepreneurship, it appears so simple, but it's something that can put people in serious trouble. When you have a loan from the bank, you must service that loan. You must pay interest. But when that loan is not giving you anything, at the end of the day, it might appear so simple. It might appear like, how much are we paying in terms of interest? When there is something that we should know as well, that the bank, they are monitoring their activities, because at the time you realize that they can as well ask you, to start paying their money, not just the interest that they want to have their own money, because they cannot see future in what you are doing. So you as an entrepreneur, you should have this in mind, that everybody, the customers, your staff, everybody that are going to be in between, you have to fix everybody properly. The customer going to determine how you operate in the market, yes, but it ends with you. Your staff, another area that I think entrepreneurs should fix as well, especially we that we are just. Hey, can we please? Can we please mute it? If yes, thank you so much. You realize that at the end of the day, you are the one to bear the brunt. You are the one to face the consequences of your choices in business. So you have to get it right. So you must keep that in mind. Okay, now let's talk business. All we've been doing for more than 5 hours now, because we started this journey yesterday, is to motivate us, to prepare us for this journey, to let us know what this is all about. So let's talk business if you're already playing the game. If somebody, I believe now, for those of us that we're already in the market, that we've been doing things, this is for us. I think going forward, we should evaluate the current state of our business and the external market using the main tools, our SWOT. I said that before, that now as a market, before you are planning all these things that we've been talking about, that you do your plan, you do your feasibility studies and what have you, now you've seen how things are working. You do your SWOT, and your SWOT are divided into two. One, the internal part of it. The internal part of your SWOT is your strengths, things your business does well, qualities that separate you from your competitors, internal resources such as skills, knowledge, manpower, and tangible assets, things that you've gotten. That is the internal part of your SWOT. So when we're talking about your SWOT, your strength and your weakness, they are internal part of it, of your SWOT. I know SWOT is what all of you are used to. You've heard that over time and over. But one thing that I've come across entrepreneurs don't really get is that even when we're talking about SWOT is not something that you just say, okay, I want to analyze the SWOT. You know how this SWOT, how it works. The strength and weakness part of it is an internal thing. When we're talking about weaknesses, things your business lacks, things your competitors do better that you've seen, because I believe that at this stage, you are operating, you are in the market, you are offering something, and you've been able to connect your idea with those people that got the buying power. Things your competitors do better than you, and unclear, unique selling proposition. These are the internal part of your SWOT. The external part of your SWOT, they are the opportunities and threats. Okay, let me now explain this. The reason why this thing is being divided into two is this. When we're talking about the internal part of it, there are things that you got control over. There are things that you can fix on your part. There are things that one way or the other, if you put your mind into what is happening around you, around your market, around your business, you can fix, because it's an internal thing. When we are talking about what you are doing well, you can easily say, okay, I want to do more in this area. You can even add to the qualities that separate you from your competitors. Your skills, your knowledge, your manpower, your tangible asset, you can increase that without consulting anybody. You can do that because you have power, you have control over them, you have control over your strength. When you talk about your weaknesses, it's about you as well, things that you are lacking. If you know what you are lacking, you can fix. Things your competitors do better, if you have access to some of the things they do, you can compete with them to say, okay, we are going to push resources to do this better. This market, this is the share that our competitors are controlling because of this and this. We are going to put money here. We are going to do this. This is what is going to be our strategy, so that we can have more control of the market. All those things are internal, because you are going to design them from your part. The external part of the SWOT is the opportunities and threats. Why? Because you need to know in that market what are the opportunities that we can access. like on underserved market for specific product. Okay, even though our competitors, they've taken major city. Okay, what is happening in villages? What is happening around us? Where can we look around that we can't find them? Where are people even expecting them to do more, that they are not doing anything, or they are not even doing it, that what they are doing is not what they should be doing. So we need to understand the underserved market for specific product. We need to understand where we have few competitors in your area, where there is need for emerging need for your product and services, and media advantage as well. These are places that we can talk opportunities, and you realize that they are outside, they are external. You think about the threat as well. You think about competitors who are just coming. You know, I told us last night that some of us, when we are going to a business, one of the things that we should have in mind that we are emerging competitors as well. Because that market that we are going, there are some people there that if they have an idea that somebody is trying to be doing what we are trying to do, is a problem. I remember when we were just thinking at that point in time, even I was still studying the market here in Birmingham. I was thinking like, oh, I want to do this. The name that we are using, part of the strategy, is to call our business something else. We have it in mind to make our frame to be brand serve, but we first launch what we call brand smart. And I started receiving funny calls, and I know some of these calls, they are from other creative agencies in Birmingham, trying to get across to us to know what we are all about. What are you guys into? What are you doing? Because that market that you are going, no matter how small you think you are a threat to some people. And you too, when you are in that market, don't relax that, oh, because this is who we are in that market. Some people are coming up that they will become threats to you. Part of the threat that you should as well check, especially in places where people are doing business by law, that laws and regulation are important. You have to check changing laws and regulation. And you must understand buying psychology as well. How buyers are relating with their market, what is changing in the attitude of customers. Those are traits that you must understand. So let's go now. Another part of it that you must get right is your strategy formation. Is your strategy formation. You need to leverage on the information from your SWOT and from your SWOT analysis to support your overall strategy. The aim should then be to take the overall mission and identify measurable steps to achieve it. You've seen what internal part of your SWOT is telling you. You've seen what the external part of it is telling you. You measure all these things to achieve what you need to achieve. That is how to formulate your strategy. Because sometimes people just say, okay, we are building our strategy, we want to launch out. What are strategy? There is no strategy if you don't understand what is applicable in terms of your SWOT. If you don't have market understanding and market, the brand science, how customers are relating with other competitors, and the way you think you are perceived in that market, and how they will receive you. So you have to build your strategy based on that. And to do that, let me simplify it. The first thing you consider to even form your strategy is your mission. Why do we exist? What are we providing? For whom do we exist? You must answer these questions clearly. Your goals, intention behind your action, shorter than your mission. Yes. When you've written your mission, no matter how long it is, you must bullet point your goals, intentions behind your actions, and you make them shorter than the mission that you've written. Then the objectives. The goals expressed in a way that they can be measured. You know, you measure your goals, you measure the way you want to do things, and you now translate them to objectives like, this is how we are going to move. You express it in a way that you can tick boxes. You can measure things that you are doing per time. You can say, okay, we've done this today, this week. Next week is the 4th week in the month of May. This is what we are going to do. Then you go based on that. You understand what is called critical success factors as well. What must go right to achieve the objectives? Don't forget that we are talking about you building your strategy formation. You put critical success factors. There might be many. That what must we do? What must go right to achieve the objectives? One of the things for some businesses to go right is for their office to be situated in the city center or at the city center of their market. Some of them, what must go right must for them to have big or great visibility or online presence that is so massive. So these are critical success factors. All the things that must be in place for you to achieve results, to achieve the objective that you've enumerated. These are your critical success factors, and you must understand this even as you form your strategy. Another thing is your KPIs, key performance indicators, should be attached to your CSF to allow them to be measured. So when we are talking about KPI being attached to your CSF, key performance indicator, that you know that, okay, how do I know that things are going right? We are talking about critical success factors. You've identified things that you must do for you to achieve the success that you want to have in that market. Then how do you know that these things that you've identified, the critical success factors, how do you know that they are working your advantage? It's when you put your KPIs on them. Key performance indicators that says, okay, you know what? Maybe the reason why we want to know if we have the feasibility that we are looking for online is the kind of engagement that we got, the followership. Somebody was telling me that, you know what, they share something about this training and they got more than 400 views. One way or the other, we are reaching out now. There is another team that are saying, okay, you know what, aside the fact that some people, they register, no matter how many you are, that you are on Zoom platform, we want to stream live what you are doing. We want to even have it on YouTube so that people can go there to watch. Part of the ways that for us to put our KPIs on the CFI for us as a team here is that we look at what the engagement on Zoom is like, the kind of audience that they've gained from the end of people who are putting it on their social media platforms. And at the end of the day, we go and check the views as well on YouTube, on other platforms where they put it. So when we are sitting down again next time to say, okay, we want to plan another thing, we are going to put all these things into consideration even as we form our strategy. Are you with me, my people?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Are you bored? If you're bored, please let me know so that we can relax a bit. I love the way we started and we are all joking and I love that. I love to have trainings like that. So at this point in time, is there anything that you want us to, if there is anything that you want me to quickly want me to explain, or something that I've said that is not really clear? Please, is there, because I don't just want to go on and I'm not reading storybook. Is there anyone that want me to explain anything, or you have a question, or you want me to, or do you want me to go on? Hello?
We are with you, sir. You can fire on, sir.
Okay, that's my boss. My boss is telling me to fire on.
We are with you, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bosses are telling me now. Thank you, sir. Okay, now let's go to you engaging with investors, because somebody, I think someone said something related to that the other time. Now, we want to consider things that you must put in your business plan and your financial forecast, even as you engage your investors. The number one thing I want to discuss there is the history, the inspiration behind what you are doing, what you've done so far. If there are success records, if there are milestones that you want to put, that you want them to read in your plan, you put it there. Then you talk about the product or the IP, I mean intellectual property that you are pushing. You say something. At that point in time, everything you are building, everything you are trying to do is built around that particular thing, the product, your IP, and everybody, they must see that you really understand what you are doing, you really understand. Because You remember somebody asked this question last night about engaging people. People are saying, okay, how can we do business together? And you want to have a plan that is good enough for an investor to say, oh, this is a business that I want to invest. This is a journey I want to travel on with you. So you must say things that people can clearly understand. You must be concise and precise when you are talking about your product and your IP. I remember I said it yesterday, like, the reason why you are launching out this product, the reason why you are launching this idea, what people tend to benefit if they are part of this. From there, you talk about your market and the competition. An investor wants to see that you understand your market. Nobody want to, okay, somebody's raising up hand. Ajoke, okay. Are you raising up your hand, ma? Or sir, I don't know. Okay, let's go. Okay. So an investor want to see your knowledge of the market. They want to know if you even understand your competition. You know, when you go on some programs and you are trying to pitch your idea, okay, go on, ma. You are raising up your hand. Go on, please. Okay. You have to unmute yourself, please. I think maybe okay. So when you are presenting your idea to a prospect, to an investor, you must be able please. Can we please mute our audio for us to be able to maximize time and get the best out of this? Please. So after you've given them your understanding of the market, you must create time as well to show them that you understand what your competitor, what the competition is like in the market, what your competitors are doing, and what you are doing as well to have a larger share of the market, to make sure that those people, they are not threats and they don't have that advantage to cripple that idea. So an investor want to be assured that you got what it takes to protect their investment. You got what it takes to bring returns as well. So another thing is the manager's CV. When we are talking about manager's CV there, they want to see you as the one. If you are the one that is leading your project, if you are the one that is fronting your business, they want to see what you've done. They want to see what the experience you got. They want to see the level of your knowledge. They want to see your exposure. So part of the things that you must put there in your plan for an investor to be interested in what you are doing is your manager's CV. Let them know if the reason why you think you are good for that business, the reason why you think you got all it takes to establish some of these things that you've written down. They must see, and they want to be convinced that you really know what you are saying, not just because you have the knowledge, but because there is something. I can be teaching what I'm teaching now, that when it comes to application, that maybe I'm not even there at all. So they want to see that, aside the fact that, oh, you are sharing this with them, you know how you are going to put all the things that you've said or all the things that you are saying into use. So it's something that is so important for them. So your manager's CV must be robust and must be good as well. You must show them as well in that plan the road to the market. that this is how you intend to move, this is where you are, this is what you are trying to build, and you must show them that road that is so clear, that is perfectly clear, that you know that part of the ways that you show them the road to the market is when you tell them that this is how we intend to move, this is how we intend to penetrate the market, then you should be able to show them as well that if this didn't work, this is how we believe we can get it done as well. So you must show them the road to the market. And as well, you must show them the required fund, because sometimes yesterday I told us that we should not be small-minded about money. Sometimes you painted a very big picture, you painted a very good idea. The problem sometimes is that you cannot adequately show an investor the required fund. Sometimes you ask for things that they believe that no, that it's not possible for you to want to do all these things that you've mentioned, that you want to do it this big, and you think this is the little amount of money or this is the little fund that will be required to do this. Some of them look at it from the point of, do you think even this one cannot do 2 items and you've itemized like 20 things that you want to do? So you must understand the required fund. And again, you must get the funding right as well, in the sense that some of them might look at it when you exaggerate and they look at it like, oh, it's like you are doing a guesswork. It's like you've not really put a lot of time. It's like there is no professional input in what, please. There is no professional input in what you are doing. So you must be able to give them a clear picture, and they must show that you put a lot of effort in what you are showing them and everything is accurate. And part of the things they want to do when you are asking for money is the usage of the money as well. They want to see, okay, we've asked for so amount of pounds, we've asked for so million naira, we have for this and that. How are we going to use it? An investor want to, and what you are using the money for as well determines if they are going to be interested or not. You know, we are talking about tangible assets before the other time. Some of them, they want to see that where are this money going? If you are asking an investor to give you money and they realize that maybe 90 or 80% of the money that you are asking for, they are going to go on things that they are not assets. Some of them find it difficult, like, you know what? Everybody that is putting money in what you are doing, they want to be sure that they are getting return of investment. And as well, they want to be sure that this is what they've used my money, this is what they've used our money to do, because anything can happen in a business. So if something is not going right, if something is not happening, is there a way that we can minimize the risk? Is there a way that we can get our money back, even though we cannot get everything? But what they are spending this money on, if the money is that, okay, we want to buy this vehicle, this and that, they look at it that, vehicles will be depreciating. If you are saying, okay, we need to get landed properties, we need to get this land, or we need to get this house, for an investor is thinking, anyway, we are investing in this, but if it doesn't work fine, we can easily dispose some of these items to get some of our funds back. So you must. And another thing is just that you must show them revenue model, financials, including your P&L. I mean your profit and loss, your cash flows, and your balance sheet. Some of you understand accounting even than I do. So some of these things they want to see. This is how the revenue is going to look like. This is what we are expecting in terms of profit. If in the first year, second year in your strategy, you believe that it's difficult for you to make that profit that you are talking about, that at least if we are going to lose anything, this is the level that we've emphasized, that we forecasted. This is how cash will flow. And even talking to the future, this is what we are expecting, that we are thinking this is what our balance sheet should be in the first year and second year. Those are the things that shows an investor that a lot of painstaking effort has gone into what you are trying to do, and they're happy to be part of what you are doing. And another thing that I think most of us we should always do is just that we should as well show that plan, our exit plan, that, okay, if this business is like this and this is exit plan. When I'm talking exit plan, I always say it in a way that even sometimes an investor might not ask you directly. Sometimes they want to see, what if something happens to you? If anything happens to you, what happened to our investment? What happened to the money that we've given you? Okay, if there is this and you need the business need to cease an operation, what will happen? You must show them that this is what we plan, that in case any of these things happen in business as an entrepreneur, it's not a place where you become unnecessarily spiritual, talking things that nothing will come. No, an investor want to see that, okay, you too, you emphasize it, but if this should happen, this is the way we've gone to minimize the risk, to make sure that anybody that is putting money on this, they are not totally at the receiving end, because some of them are going to be giving us their life savings, their life investment, and so on. That another part of this is your executive summary. When you're talking about your executive summary, I know some of you understand some of these things. You talk about your vision, the problem and solution, the problem you've identified, the solution you're providing. Talk about your product, your market, your competition, the business and revenue model that I talked about the other time, the ask and use funds, your team. I want to talk about that. When you are talking about, in a business plan, the team is so key. You know, I've spoken about the manager's CV, but depending on the size of your business, sometimes people realize that what you are doing require a lot of experience, some hands that can really fix things, that can really get things going. Who is working in your team? So people want to know what are the factors that makes you think this person is fit to be part of this. What are their experiences? If you got fantastic things they've done, where they've worked, maybe some of them okay, 3 of you decided to come together. This one got experience in HR and business management. This one got experience, maybe he's a fantastic salesperson, that the record they provide is solid. Those things are the things that will make an investor to say, okay, you know what? This is a business for us. Not just because the idea is fine, because even the team, they are solid enough to pursue this. You do what is called financial summary, exit aspiration that I mentioned the other time. So when we are talking about your history, mission, and vision, you know, I've shared some of these things. I'm talking about the company history that I've shared. When did you form the company? How did you founded the company? Some of us, we might need to talk to entrepreneurs at a stage where the company is already in operation, that we've done some things. Some of them, they want to know about our journey. Who has funded who has supported what you are doing? And where do you secure money? Do you have loans that you are servicing? Do you have things that people, that one way or the other, that those people need to know about, so that they just didn't come up at any time and they start having issue? The management, are they the same? The set of people that you started the business, those that you are working with you or who are working with you, are they still the same? If you've changed management, you must state the reason why you've changed. Don't just think, oh, maybe because we identify somebody is not playing his or her role the way they should play it, or because you realize that some people, they've done what they shouldn't do financially, maybe the integrity of the companies has taken, and you've done that. They want to know, what have you done to correct that? If there are things that you need to share with these people, you might need to state it. Not everything in the business plan, but when you give opportunity to say few things that even when they want to take it further, they can ask you questions. It's good when you even let them know that you discover some things on time and you made this decision. That is to tell them that, you know what, this one is not just running a business, they are actually coordinating what they are doing, and they are on top of the job. Talk about your vision, your mission statement, the critical success factor. For instance, let me give you an instance. When we're talking about vision statement, mission statement, the Coca-Cola mission statement says to refresh a mind, body, and spirit, to inspire moments of optimism and happiness through our brands and actions. Any investor that is coming across these people, even every stakeholder that has come across this brand, they know what they set out to do based on this mission. And Amazon's vision says to be the Earth's most customer-centric company, to build a place where people can come to find and discover anything they might want to buy online. So when somebody come across this brand, they see it like, oh, through the vision or your mission, they've seen everything. That is the summary of totality of the business, of your idea. So we should make it, like I said earlier on, we should be precise and we should make it solid, like we are concise as well. This is what you are telling people, this is what you want, because On this premise, everything that you want to do will flow. Every engagement, every discussion, they are going to be built around this. And this is not just a statement. This is what your reputation will be measured and judged based on. Your brand is your integrity, and have it in mind as well as an entrepreneur that your brand is a promise as well. So as time goes on, people want to see a brand that is truly refreshing the mind of people, a brand that is actually inspiring moment of optimism. And if I tell you now, me and you, we don't doubt what Coca-Cola is doing, because in terms of, it's only by discipline that people don't want to drink. Some people who don't want to drink. You know, when people want to cool their mind, when people want to enjoy among friends in parties, you know, you see people, Coca-Cola in the hands of everybody. Even people are using their name to call their competitors. Somebody is drinking Pepsi and people are saying, oh, I'm drinking Coke, before people can even point to them like, you know what, you are actually drinking Pepsi. Pepsi Cola is not Coca-Cola. So you can see that they are actually refreshing the mind and they are leader in that particular market. And when they say they want to inspire moments of optimism and happiness through our brand and action, do you know since when Coca-Cola has been sponsoring the World Cup? So many sporting competitions around the world that they've been sponsoring these, because these things align with their mission, and everything they do as a brand is built around that. When you talk about Amazon being the utmost customer-centric company, I tell you, it's so clear that everything that people want to buy, even there are things that are not on Amazon that we don't need to tell ourselves that you might not get it. People still check if they can find it on Amazon. So as an entrepreneur, forming this strategy, forming all these things, your plan and everything, you know, they are so key. That means that is where the journey actually begins. That is where the journey actually starts for you. And you should consistently review it, like I told you earlier on. You should consistently work on it. When we see things, if you have a team, anytime you see things that you need to change, you change. And that was the reason why I told you before that you should learn to improve on the spot. Okay. When we're talking about your product IP, your product or your intellectual property in a business, one, you say, what is the problem that we want to solve, that this solves, this product that we have. I want to sell this water I'm bringing. What is the problem that this water will solve? The water that I have with me here is not just ordinary water. They call it, they said it's a water with a touch of fruit, strawberry, natural flavor. Why am I taking this? That means as a marketer, as an entrepreneur, you should be able to push this product based on the fact that, yes, water is good, but some people, they find it difficult drinking water because they are used to soft drinks. We are pushing something that is a replacement, that it will give them the fulfillment of drinking something like a soft drink, but at the same time, they are taking water. So the way you identify your problem and the way you technically solve it is key in you building that particular brand as an entrepreneur. And if it's an intellectual property as well, for those of us that we are in service or we are consistently create ideas, we must be able, we don't just say, okay, we create this idea, because I build content all the time that when I want to write something for a particular brand, it might take you a lot of time to go and research about them, to read more about them. When they give you something to do for them, you might take time to read. So that is going to define what you are presenting to them. Because sometimes when you present an idea and somebody who is in service, they look at you like, yes, you just want to sell us this service, not that you really understand what we are doing, or not that this service that you are trying to push will do anything meaningful to help our brand. And another thing is that what is unique about your solution? This thing that you have, yes, we know there is a problem. It is possible that you are not the only person that identified that problem in your community, that identified that problem in that market. Yes, everybody agree there is a problem. But what is unique, because others, they might have proposed solutions as well. What is unique about your own solution? And another thing is that, is your solution protected? When I'm talking about this to entrepreneurs, I always let them know something. You know what? You call it your solution. It might not actually be your solution if it's not protected. Is it patent? Do you have trademark? And do you have this copyright? You know, for those of us in the creative sector, you realize that even when somebody designs an advert, There are times that people look at you like, no, what you are trying to push is not your own. And maybe it's your own because maybe the timing thing that we discussed about, that you didn't key into timing, you didn't push it on time, you realize that it is difficult for you to actually claim it. So when you put this out, that this is what you are, when you say this is what you are pushing, this is what you are trying to do, you must let people know that the solution is protected as well. When the solution is protected, that is to tell you that it is yours. You have every right to make money through that, and you know that it's going to take a very long period of time for your competitors to even dislodge you based on that idea, because you've done everything that will make it difficult to do something similar to what you are doing. And it's going to give an investor the guarantee needed to let them know that, you know what, we can actually put our mind at peace, because we know we are powerfully protected based on what we are putting our money on. So that must be clear to you at all time. What's the next one? The market. It is so important for you as an entrepreneur to understand your market. I told us yesterday that today we are going to discuss business properly. The rest that we've discussed, there are things to encourage us in the journey of entrepreneurship, things, basic tools that we should have. Those are the things that we share. Now we are discussing business. You have to understand your market. As an entrepreneur, what market are you in? What market are you in? If you are in a service-based market or you are in a product-based market, you have to understand that market. How large is the market? How have you segmented the market? Do you understand this market to the point that these are the people who are in this market? These are the major stakeholders. When I'm talking of people with buying power, these are the major stakeholders. Okay, if you want to segment this market, this percentage of the market, they are young people. This percentage of the market, they are women. This percentage of the market, they are working class. How have you segmented your market? What are the trends in your market? That idea that you have, that product that you want to launch, that thing that you are working on, even if I ask you now, can you name 10 to 20 top prospects in your market? Who are the prospects in your market? Because until you know your prospect, that is when you can actually you design strategies and messages that can reach out or connect with these people rightly. I said something. One of the features that we have at BrandServe is to take your message to people who got the buying power. One of the things in our proposal, when you go through our marketing materials, is that we believe that it is not fair for you to put money, to put your budget in a particular strategy, and you cannot have return of investment. And we believe for you to have return on investment, you must communicate with the right set of people, with the right market. It's only when you've segmented your market that you will know who are we actually talking to. And part of segmenting your market, or if you are pushing a product, you should know who got the buying power. Who got the buying power? Who has the buying power? If you take a product to a place where they only admire the product, but they don't have the means to patronize you, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of resources. And do you understand what is called the DMU? Do you understand the buying process of your market? Do you understand how this market buy? Some of them do you get when okay, somebody is asking, oh, I think I've gone so far. Somebody said I have a question. Please ask the question, Mr. Muiwa Adekunle. Please ask the question, please. Ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, the question is just based on when you talked earlier, and then you've moved far above that now. When you talked earlier about letting your investor, convincing them about what you want to do, and you can do it. That is having a robust CV.
Yes.
Having a robust CV. So what about some kind of quality that cannot be theorized? Like you have taken sample in fish farming now. You have undergone some studies, and you are now convinced that you can go on fish farming. But there's no way to pass that on a paper. How do you convince your investor on that?
Oh, yes, that you let me rephrase that question, sir. That you've attended a training based on what you want to do.
Yes.
But I tell you, sir, for me as an investor, coming across somebody who is consistently thinking of adding to their knowledge is a plus.
Okay.
An investor wants to see that, even as I am now, if I want to do anything, an investor doesn't want to just hear that, oh, Kunle, you've been doing this thing for a very long time. What they want to know how updated I am. What have I done recently? So it's a very big plus, sir. When you say, oh, I have done this training because we are trying to do this, that is to tell them that everything, even some of the things that you are going to be doing, they are not things that you are just going to be picking from your head. That you are somebody that is consistently seeking knowledge, and you are trying to give your best to know more. And like what we do tell people, just that for a training like this, part of building a CV is just that even though this is a casual training that we are having, this is a training that we've organized. For me, as an entrepreneur who want to add more to the CV, saying I attended an accelerator training during COVID-19. I was discussing with some young people. I said, some people, when the business return to normal, they will face a lot of things because people think this is just a period to play around. And for those of us that we've attended one or two things, we are going to add to our CV, no matter how irrelevant we think the training we've attended is, provided we can itemize things that we've gained through that training, and we can give that training a name. And people can say, okay, what I'm trying to say is just that there are things that you have not really put into practice, but you've gone to learn. They are part of the things that makes a wonderful CV for somebody who is fronting a project. Because when they come across, they see this, that's to tell you that this guy is consistently thinking of the best way to do it. He's not limiting himself based on what he knows or what she knows. He's trying to do more, and he's trying to add to what he knows. And that is how to run a business. I said it the other time that the market you left on Friday is not the same thing when you go on Monday. And part of it is that we must consistently learn. Hope I have answered that question, sir.
Yes, sir. You've done that, sir. You've done justice to it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So another thing that you must understand is what is the lifetime value for a customer? Let me explain that. When we are selling something to somebody, I'm selling this water to a customer. What is the lifetime value of this customer? Do they just buy this? If they buy this and they have this plastic, hope you can all see this, please. Because I'm looking at my slide, I don't even know if people are seeing me. Can you see this?
Yes, we can see you. We are seeing you.
Thank you. So when we are talking about your LTV,
we are seeing you, sir.
Okay, thank you. When you are talking of your lifetime value for a customer, you are thinking like, okay, this thing that I want to sell, this customer, is he or she going to come back? When are they coming back to patronize us? How often do they come? Am I selling something outrightly, or there will be repeat sales? What do I mean? There is difference between me building a house to rent. I know maybe every year, maybe every 2 years, maybe every 6 months, maybe every month, based on the law of that land, is when I expect that customer to come to pay me. That means they patronize me once, but based on the agreement that is on ground, they will keep coming, maybe monthly, yearly, or any agreement that we've gotten. Or is it a one-time thing, a one-off thing, which means I'm selling a land now, I've sold it. There is difference between me selling a land and leasing a land. So you have to understand the lifetime value for a customer, for each customer in a particular market. When you've segmented the market, you must understand the LTV, to know how the customer comes and how frequent. These are the things that will determine how you operate in the market and how things are done. What is the cost acquisition of a customer? I tell you, part of the things that you must understand when we are discussing selling as an entrepreneur is To get a single customer, a lot of effort must go into it. A lot of marketing, a lot of strategy that we are trying to formulate, to a lot of things that we want to put into use. You must know the cost. How much does it cost us to get one customer? Part of those things, if you cannot itemize some of these things, it's difficult for you to be a good entrepreneur. In the sense that it is when you know how much it costs you to secure a customer, that is when you place the right value on the customer. Okay, you made some calls, you've attended few meetings, and they've given you this job, or maybe you've even done few presentations before you are given that job to do. You must know how much it costs you to secure that deal. And the same thing for those of us that we are selling things that we think, oh, they are not that big, they are not too big. You must know what it takes you to push that product to the market. You calculate it. It's part of the ways for an entrepreneur to know if they're actually making money or they are just moving. I said it before we move to this slide, I said it like 4 slides away or 5, that movement is not progress. It is when you know how much it costs you to market yourself, how much it costs you to push what you are selling. That is when you know how much it costs to get one singular customer. And when you see big brands that places so much value on their customers, you realize that it's because they understand what it takes them to secure that customer. Another thing for us as an entrepreneur to know is just that sometimes we want to do things that every other person is doing. Sometimes we don't need to do it. There are products that the owners, they don't advertise. Someone said, why is it that you don't see them advertising Ferrari or Lamborghini on TV? And someone answered them that, you know what? Those who want to drive Lamborghini and Ferrari, they don't really have time for much TV. There are things, so the way you acquire your customer, you must understand it, and what it costs you to get across to them, you must understand it, and that's the way you know. And what are the turn rates? How sensitive is the market to pricing? What are the rates? What are the things? When you are talking about your turn rate, you understand every single item that forms your price, and you understand how sensitive is your market to pricing. I said something similar to that. I keep referring to things that I've said before, especially to help those who are just joining us, in the sense that, you know what, market is sensitive. Just for 1p, let me use 1p, or let me use 1 kobo in Nigeria. Just for 1 kobo, somebody is ready to walk few miles or few steps to go and buy from the next person. And some people, they are ready to sacrifice, even though they know that this thing should cost a pound. They think, okay, let us sell it 90p, because we believe that if that person should come to our store, they won't buy this alone. Then we can make money from other things as well. So you must understand the sensitivity of the market when we are talking pricing. So that is what we form what you are doing. And that was the reason why I was talking about, even you know what you can do per time. I'm trying to move because of my time. Let's talk the competition. Now, who are your direct competitors? You must have a book, in your plan, who are the direct competitors. We've said it, that there is no market that you are going that you can enjoy monopoly. No market is monopolistic in nature. There are competitors there. You need to know these people. Can you list them? Who are their customers? How does their product differ from what you are offering? How do they go to market? What is their pricing? What market share do they have? Let me quickly explain 2 things in some of these things that I've mentioned. How do they go to market? When I explained the process of branding to you yesterday, I talk about market identification, market penetration, brand recognition, superior competition, and loyalty retainers. You know what? For you to get the right technique to penetrate your market, you must know your competitors very well. You must be able to know those you are competing with. You must know their customers. You must know what their product looks like and what makes their product different from what you are offering. If your product and your product, if they are exactly the same, but these people, they got market presence, I tell you, you realize that whatever you put into marketing, you will be promoting them. It's only when they finish selling that you start selling. That means something must be different, especially if you know that your competitors, they are bigger than you and they got bigger platform than you. How do they go to market? This product of of these guys, how do they push it in their market, in this market that you've identified? What is their pricing there? Do you think people are complaining based on how much they buy this thing? That is a strategy to know. If people are complaining about their pricing, that is a strategy for you to say, oh, I think we can accommodate this. We can remove this little, because people, they are so sensitive when you are talking. What market share do they have? How big is their control of the market? How well spread are they in that market? How well funded are these guys? One thing I have learned as an entrepreneur is just that when people are well funded, I tell you, you should not be intimidated. You should just do one thing. That means you spend more time on your strategy when you are competing with brands that are well funded, that they have money and they are spending it big time. How long have they been in the market? You must know their experience. How, everything you are trying to achieve, if they've achieved it, that loyalty retainers, when customers decide to say, okay, it is them, it is only when they cannot find them that they patronize others. You have to understand how long they've been in that market. How do they promote their product? What are they doing in terms of campaigns, in terms of marketing? Do you think people enjoy their marketing? Do you think people enjoy their campaigns? People now, they are getting creative when it comes to promoting businesses. Especially, people are capitalizing on influencers now. People get a celebrity, maybe a comedian on Instagram, because if you think, oh, the larger percentage of our buyers of the market, they are on Instagram, they are on social media. There are people who are always following the content of this particular comedian. You think, oh, what if I get their attention through this person? What channels do they use to go to market? This thing, as an entrepreneur, you must get right. What channels are these people using? Are they using business to business, which is B2B, or they are using B2C, which is business to customer? You must understand how this works. Business to business means you know that these guys, okay, maybe presently they don't even engage anyone directly in the market, because what they are selling, another person is helping them to get it across to those who are using those things. Or these guys already, they got the platform that they are selling directly to end users as well. So you must get all this right. So let's discuss your management team now. Let's discuss your management team. You have to understand what your company structure looks like. That is why when I talk to entrepreneurs, I always tell you, spend time to build structure, spend time to create standard, and make sure that you are building a system. Every time you see that something is working, every time you see that people cannot just beat a particular thing, like, oh, they cannot just wave them aside, it's because they have a system. I recently asked somewhere that, what do you think is working in the UK, is working in America, that is not working in all those places in Africa that we complain about? UK doesn't have what we have in Nigeria. They don't have, in terms of woman power, I can contest this anyway. When you talk about knowledge, it's not that maybe they are more knowledgeable than us, but there is something that is working that is an advantage for them, is that they have a working system. So as an entrepreneur, you should think of building a system. It pains me when I come across people who do things because they believe it is my business. Don't run business like it is my business. Even if you're an investor, or maybe you put somebody to run your business for you, don't run a business because you think it's my business, I can do whatever I feel like part-time. Create a system, build a structure, operate based on this structure. It's only when you do that, you have the capacity to compete. You have the capacity to say, okay, we can also have a larger share. We can compete with those who are already in the market. Who is in the team now? You must understand everybody who is in your team, who will join the team. When we are talking about who is in the team, we talk about those who are working for that idea, those who put their money. We are talking of the stakeholders. Are you thinking of expanding, that you want to give more people opportunity to buy shares or to invest into what you are doing? Who are going to join you later? And you must be able, when you are thinking of your management, you must be able to think about what your company will look like in 3 years' time. What does each member bring to the party? I mean, forming the management, what does each person bring to the team? There are times that people think, okay, capital is all it takes to build a business is a lie. If capital is all it takes to build a business, we have so many entrepreneurs out there. For the fact that you are putting money somewhere, that does not mean everything about the business is about you. No. There are people who bring their concepts to a business. There are people who bring their contacts to a business. So you must know what each person brings to the party if you are building a team. And like I always say as well, please, when you are forming your management team, it doesn't make sense when you bring the same sort of people to the table. People who got the same thing. You are all bringing the same thing to the table. No. Instead, bring people who can bring diverse things to the table that will make the team to be a complete one. If everybody in your management team, you can all do the same thing, but there are other things that you cannot do, that means there is deficit in that thing. What are the salaries? Are you going to pay salary? Are people, you must, all these things you must make clear. What shareholding do they hold? Sometimes people say, oh, come on, especially at the time that we are just starting, that we must be careful as entrepreneurs, because at that time we are so excited, we want to start, we just see everything. It is when we start operating that we realize that, oh, we are making money, or we realize that, oh, the brand is growing, we are getting big and big every day. Then somebody is thinking like, after all, I'm the only one that put money into this. No. Do you want to pay salary? If you want to pay salary, let people know that you are paying salary. If you cannot afford salary, don't say because you cannot afford salary, you tell people, you are going to be a shareholder, you are one of the owners. Okay, and they start working on the business. Please understand what shareholding do they hold in that business. Because as you are building your brand, you can't afford to have somebody or some set of people somewhere working to see the downfall of what you are building. You have competitors that you need to face in the market. You cannot afford to have people who are once part of your team, who knows the secret of your brand, to now join these people to put what you are building down. And one of the ways that people disagreement come up in the management team is when people try to shy away from things. If I get somebody who's coming to work for me, is that person going to work based on salary? Do I want to give that person some percentage of the business? So I know all these things that I cannot change some of these things. And when I want to do this, there should be an MOU, memorandum of understanding, that says this is what you own as far as this business is concerned. If this guy chooses to go away tomorrow, this guy can say, okay, you know what, I'm going. I want to sell this. Do you want to buy it back, or you want me to sell it to someone else? It is their own. If you think your business is your business, you don't want to share it with anybody because you think when they have shareholding power, they can make decisions based on percentage they got, you think it is salary. So when you are looking for money, you must think of the money to have the right team. Because I've seen people that brought up, they just bring all of you together as experts. You say, okay, share ideas. People bring ideas, this and this and that. And when things start begin to take shape, people start feeling like, oh, we don't know that this thing is going to be big this way. And they are thinking, after all, it's my idea. After all, I put all the money there. No. You have to get all these things right. Are you with me, people?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Please
We are
don't
here,
mind
sir.
me. I keep asking this because we are using a
We are with
platform
you,
that
sir.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We are
another
with you,
thing.
sir.
Yes, thank you. When we are talking about the road to the market, you must, you've been able to identify you've been able to identify the way your customer thinks. Now, how will you take what you are doing to the market? You must identify the best channel that you want to use. Is it a direct business to client that you want to do? Will you need a sales team that oh, for me to get this thing across to end users, I need to have a sales team, people who are going to sell for me. What tools do you think they will need? You can't just expect people to come and sell for you when you've not identified the tools that they will need to sell what you ask them to sell. The tools might be, do they need to be branded to a point that they need to, there are markets that you cannot just go casual based on the capacity of your competitors. Do you need your sales representative to even go in a way that can intimidate those who are already in the market? One thing I've come across is just that there was this company in Nigeria, in Adekunle. They were recruiting for there is a medical company, and they were recruiting medical sales representatives, and they invested in buying big cars. When we realized this, we were thinking that, is this man out of his mind? Why is he doing this? But he has studied the market. We later realized that it was because he knows what all these big competitors are doing in the market. So one of the things he decided to do is to empower his team to go to that market in a way that appears seriously intimidating. I tell you, there is one thing that you need to know as an entrepreneur is the way you appear in the market matters a lot. No matter how good your idea is, if you appear in a way that shows no strength, no capacity, people don't. And sometimes our appearance in the market, when you talk about branding is all about perception. Our perception, the way people perceive us, the way they relate with us in the market, might even be bigger than who we are. I've come across companies with massive website that you look at their online presence and you are thinking that these people, they are super big. And when you come in contact with that company physically, you realize that the company, even they don't have a room to themselves. So the way you appear matters. How do you want, and what tools do you want your people who are taking your product to the market? What tools are they using? How will you promote your product? What platform are you using? What is the strategy that you want to use to promote? Do you need to run campaigns? Do you need to have people who are your ambassadors? How do you want to take it? How much budget do you need for your promotion? That is another problem that entrepreneurs do encounter. We budget for everything, but we think when it comes to promotion, we want to beg people to tweet about our business. We want to beg people to do this. It doesn't work that way. There are ways that we can create leverages that we can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this for you. You too do this for me. But you actually need budget. Even when people come to me to say, Kunle, we want you guys to help us to do this and this. One of the things I've learned to do some other time, many times, is that I want to know what is your budget for what you're asking me to do. I will never do something when I realize that you don't have a budget for it. That means whatever I'm doing, you will never appreciate it. But I will prefer you saying, okay, even though I don't have the money, but I'm thinking for our business based on the strategy that we are deploying, this is the budget for it. Even though the money is not feasible, we don't have it. That tells me that if at all you want to even appreciate in the future, or you want to do anything with me, or you are thinking, okay, there is a way, you will appreciate what we are doing. Sometimes our promotion, the budget that we put in promotion is key. We must understand. Have you tested the promotional activities? That is another area. Sometimes people want to launch something, they want to promote a brand. Have you tested it? One of the things, maybe some of us, we've done what is called market survey, that people randomly give us some things to say what we think about a particular product. That's one of the ways to test your promotional activities. Sometimes people ask us to design things, to ask how things are being advertised in a particular market. They want to know how the market thinks. Have you priced your product? Because some of these things that we are talking about, they are going to tell on the product. Because at the end of the day, when we come across a particular product in the market, all these things that we are talking about, they are the things that formulate the decision to say, this is how much we are selling this thing. Then you look at the indirect part of it. If you want to take your product to market indirectly, that means you are embracing what is called B2B, business to business, that I spoke about the other time. Who will partner with you? Let's say I have gotten this product and I think I don't want to sell from me to the end users, to my customers. Instead, I want to partner with a particular supermarket, or I have a partner that they already got their store, they got the brand, they got the platform to sell for me. Instead of me putting my name, I want to put their name, I want them to sell it. That means that is a strategy to say, I need to identify who's going to partner with me. For me to identify that, I must know what is their track record. If they've done something like this in the past, how was it? These are the things that you need to do all this research by yourself. Another thing is just that if I'm taking this water to this supermarket I have done the bottling, I have done the branding, I have done everything. Now I'm not spending money on marketing, I'm not spending money on promotion because I've secured a partner to sell this for me. They want to partner with me. What will be their margin? What margin of our profit would they expect? How much are they going to get? This is £1. Out of this £1, as you have it in mind that if I'm planning for my business in my account book, that £1 is not what I'm expecting if a partner is selling for me. One of the things that we formulate the margin that you should give to a customer is you think of what you are doing and what they will be doing. Are they promoting that product for you? What promotional support would they need? Who is giving that promotional support? Have you branded this thing in their name, which means you are using their name already, you are using their brand? How big and appropriate is their customer base for what you are trying to sell, what they are agreeing to sell for you, or what you are pushing to them to sell for you? What other product do they sell? Sometimes when we partner with people, we must know if that partnership is going to be beneficial to us. Maybe already they are selling something for a major competitor, and we partner with them, we've signed MOU with them, and already we are committed to them. You realize that our own product will always be the last on the shelf. So you must know what other product they sell. What do they want to? Why do they want to sell your product? You must engage. Don't let us be too excited as entrepreneurs to say, "Oh, they've agreed to sell my product. They've asked me to bring it. Now I'm up." I think we should ask questions. Is this part of your strategy? Because if maybe one way or the other, they are having issues financially, or they don't have enough product, and that is the reason why they are desperate to sell anything. So when they have your product, immediately they pick up at any time, your product becomes secondary to them. They don't see any reason to push your product again. So you must understand this. You must ask them this question: why do you want to sell my product? If your product is so strategic to their planning, how important is your product to their business strategy? That you know what? We believe that we are going to summer in United Kingdom, and as far as we are as a brand, we know that we are not selling water. And that is a period that many people want water. Now we know young people don't like to drink water. Even parents, they force their children to drink water. Are you bringing a water like this? Is going to be something that is new, something that is good in the market, and we want our brand to be one of those people that we are the first to bring this thing, to introduce this thing to the market. You must know if your product is key in their strategy. That is to determine how far you are going to travel together in that partnership. Another thing is, how will you support them? Do you need anything? You've been talking about how these people will support you if it's to B2B. Now, how will you support them as well? What do you need to do? Because sometimes I realize that even entrepreneurs, immediately we've secured partnership to push a product, we just want to answer, we want to relax, we want to be sleeping. All we want to be hearing is alert in our account, knowing that, oh, money is getting to the account. What do I need to do to support them as well? Is it motivation? Remember this, if this is your product, this is your idea, you are the innovator. No one can sell this thing like you. Now you've given it to someone else to sell for you. You cannot just go away. Maybe you are the one that will continue to educate them, to build their team. Maybe anytime they are recruiting sales representative for that brand that is helping you to sell, maybe they are going to give you a slot where you talk about the journey, where you talk about the idea behind what you've invented, so that these people, they know about what you are trying to do and the reason behind it. I'm going so fast now. Now, let's talk about your operation. You must know who will produce my product. When you're talking about this, you consider two things. The internal. Does the current team have this skill set? Yes, you have a team. Who will produce my product? I have some people who are working with me already. Do they have what it takes to produce this product? What equipment do we need, or will you need? What service level do you have to provide? What are the KPIs, key performance indicators? Do you have a contingency plan? When we are talking about contingency plan, it's just that in operation, anything can go wrong at any time. What are your plans? Then you think of external. If what you are trying to do, they are going to produce externally. Then I secure a company in China to produce some clothing items for me, or some beauty items. I want them to produce some lipsticks, some powders for me, and they have agreed to do it. That is an external production that our operation is going to capitalize on external strategy. So one thing that you should check there is, do they have the capability and the expertise to do it? Can they scale with demand? How do you know if they can scale with demand? Are they producing for other people? So based on the quantity, on the volume of what I'm asking them to produce for me, do I think they will have the time? If you are producing the larger rate, do you think this company got the capacity to do this for you based on other people they are servicing, based on the capacity of that company? If you are producing in a very smaller quantity that you are just starting, that say, okay, let me just start with few, do you think they are not producing for people that will make what they are doing for you to be relevant? That is when they are through with those people that they remember you. Maybe you are even taken from a place. Let's say for those of us, don't let us be talking about all these larger scale as well. Let's even take some of us that we go to bakeries to take, maybe you are trying to operate a business where I want to sell beans and bread, and I want to be taking bread from this. The quantity that you are taking, how important are you to the bakery? Is it when every other person, they've taken the order of every other person, that is when they remember you? What happens to your business the day they cannot give to you? Can they scale with your demand? How important is your business to these people? How financially stable are they as well as a business? And how will they support you? So that is that. If at any time you want to call me to order, you want to ask anything, please raise up your, I think you can talk and I can react to some of these things. Now let's talk about revenue model and financial info. You know, I've said something related to that too. How do you make money? We've said it, we are not in business to make friends, but we make friends in business because we want to make money. How do you make money? What is actually giving you revenue in your business? Sometimes entrepreneurs cannot even understand, they cannot even define that very well. Money coming from. Oh, especially for those of us that we are providing service. Somebody want to engage you and everything you want to say to them during the process of meeting, you share everything to them. Have you been able to develop a strategy to say, this is how we operate? For us at BrandServe, we have what is called our ABC model. When you contact us, when you want to do anything with us, the A, the B, the C. At what point do you start making money from what you are trying to do? There are people, and that's one of the things I've learned, you know, doing business in Nigeria is quite different from here. In Nigeria, you talk, everybody, in fact, I can walk to a lawyer, to the office of a lawyer, and we start chatting. Here, people don't visit office of lawyers anyhow, because right from the point of view knocking at their door, you know how much it takes you. You know, here they charge per hour. What immediately, when you are saying what is not relevant to what you've come to discuss, you know your money is going. Because these are the things that we must know, even as entrepreneurs, so that somebody don't call us to come and, okay, you are in Birmingham, somebody just fix a meeting that, can you come to London, can you come to Coventry? You spend your money, your time that you could have used for something better. You go there, and at the end of the day, you just realize that you're just playing around. So you must identify that, how do I make money? At what point do I want to start making money? Is it one-off scale, like I told you? Is it annual recurring revenue that we call ARR? Annual recurring revenue means there are businesses, especially for those of us that we are in creative sector, there are businesses that at the end of each financial year, we must make money because they will use our content, they will use our materials, they will use things that we provide for them. That is the reason why if you are working in a service-based sector that you create things for people, you must have copyright that I spoke about the other time, the patent, the trademark. Because you might get to a stage that somebody just think like, we cannot afford to be paying this. Do you have a signed agreement that says they are going to be paying you annually? Is it a monthly recurring revenue like I've told you? You as a landlord that you are expecting to make money from your from your rent every month. Are the revenue tied to a contract? That is another thing you must understand as an entrepreneur. Now you know how you want to make money, but this revenue that you are talking about, are they tied to a contract? If your revenues are not tied to a contract, automatically you cannot build your business based on that, because that means there is no guarantee based on what you have on ground. It is when you are sure of this is how much is coming every month. That is when you are sure this is how much is coming every year. That is when you can say, okay, we can we can plan based on this. We can budget based on this. So you must understand this, especially for those who are running service-based business, so that when you get the client, the contract determines how you also plan when you are talking about your financial forecasting. Have you identified all costs? Do you need to do fundraising? Cost of it? No. Sometimes people tell us that, you know what, part of the strategy to get their business going, to launch the business, is to do fundraising events. You are going to spend money. I have seen people that package fundraising event. At the end of the day, the money that the owner of the business was saving, thinking like, oh, this is my capital. They suggested to the person that, you know what, do a fundraising event. You get money, you do this, and at the end of the day, they realize that the capital they've been saving for a very long time, they spend it on the fundraising event, and they didn't get anything in return. That means the owner of that business go to point one again, square one. You understand your go-to-market cost. That is what I said the other time, that we are going to market as you are going. How much is it going to take us? How much is going to cost us? What is our customer acquisition cost? You understand all these things. You want to run a campaign, you want to do this. Don't just give money that, oh, run campaign for me, do this for me. Let it be part of the plan. Equipment, your salary, are your costs correct? Will you actually achieve your sales target? Because when you spend all this money because you want to sell, do you think based on what you've spent and everything you've put into it that you can achieve what you set as your target? So all those things we must put in mind. Okay, let's discuss funding and use of funds now. Let's say you are coming across an investor, they ask you, how much money will you need? How much money will you need? You should be able, based on your plans, you should be able to say it as an entrepreneur. This is how much we are actually looking at. And you should be able to do it this way, that I'm thinking that not you saying, oh, because one thing we always tell people, don't be rigid. You try to be flexible as an entrepreneur, that we believe if we get this so amount of money, we are going to do it. But what is the plan B? That let's say we cannot get this now. This is what we are, if we can secure this and we can go through this, we can still do this, we can still achieve this. When you come across people who are entrepreneurs and they are saying, until I have 20 million naira, until I have 2 million pounds, that is when I can set out. That is how the only time I can get things done. I tell you, they don't really have a deeper understanding of what they are trying to do. You must know how much money you need. Do you need the money all at once? If not, what are the milestones? When we are talking about your milestones, we are talking about at what point do you need this particular amount? At what point do you think you need this amount? At what point do you think you need to give your salespeople, maybe you need to give them official cars, you need to have your team to have a befitting office. At what point do you need to do that? How will the money be used? And where is the money coming from? Those are the things. When you are talking funding, it's not good for you to have 10% of the money needed and you start spending it on that business. I tell you, if you are not careful, you are going to waste that money. Yes, you can start if you need £100 and you got £10 with you. That does not mean you cannot start, but before you start, be sure of what you want to use the money for. And the rest of the money, be sure where they are coming from. If out of 5 million naira, you spent your 2 million, but you don't have where the remaining 3 million where it's coming from, I tell you, the 2 million is a waste. So you must know. So now, your business plan. What is a business plan? Your business plan is the key business management and sales document for smooth running of your business and investment strategy to attract right investors. A business plan is the summary of everything, how you intend to move your strategy, everything we've been talking about. The plan should talk about your product or service, the management of the business, financial projections, operations, market research, and your industry. The plan should be readable. The plan should be concise. You should avoid jargons. You know, I said it the other time that I said it last night. Don't use big words to confuse people. So investor might not be familiar with your company. So do not expect them to understand immediately the unique feature of your business. So you have to simplify things for them. Now let's talk something that is so important. If you want me to say a few things about business plan is key. And like I've said, the reason why I just brought it up is just that yesterday I believe that we said a lot of things about business plan as well that is key for you. And if you relate it with what I've been saying since, you realize that business plan is key for every business. Now let us talk about your marketing plan. Your marketing plan. For you to develop a marketing plan for that business of yours or your product, you must know what is your unique selling proposition. You know, many of us, we talk about this all the time, your USP, your unique selling proposition, you must list 1, 2, 3. That this is what is special about this business. This is what is special about me. This is what, at least 3. If you can do more than that, is good. Because that is what you are going to use to build your plan, to create your marketing around. In few words, you must explain how you use your USP in your market. Who is your ideal customer? Building your plan, who is my ideal customer? What is the agenda and age bracket? What is my monthly marketing budget? How many leads do you receive per month? When we are talking about leads, we are talking about things that are capable. You know, I called them contact last night. We are talking about things that will lead us to securing prospects. How do you get your leads? Is it through referrals? Is it through advert? Is it through word of mouth that people are just talking about you, that your business is the main thing? How many leads do you receive per month? I tell you, as a business, you must keep marketing. You must keep receiving leads. Without all this, you might not have any conversion rate. What do I mean by conversion rate? It is how many leads that you have per month. It is your strategy in marketing that will determine how you are going to convert those things to actual selling, to actual sales. That is what is going to determine who and who is buying from you. So if nobody is introducing anybody to you, you two, you are not marketing anything, you are just daydreaming as an entrepreneur. If you are thinking, we are going to sell, we are going to make it, and you are waiting for that mega sales will not ever come up. Every brand that you see that they are doing mega sales, one way or the other, they got mega strategies, they got mega plans, and they've been able to follow through in a mega way as well. So what is your current cost per lead? I said that the other time as well, that your current cost per lead should say, oh, this is how many calls we are going to make. This is how many meetings we are going to receive to get this lead. That is what's going to formulate that. How many leads do you require per sale? For me to sell this water, I need to market it. How many people do I think I will market to before they buy one bottle? So you must understand that for you to actually have a solid marketing plan, that is to tell you that, okay, I know for me to secure 10 sales, this and this and this we must do. So when you need to repeat it, it's going to be easy for you. When you need to teach people to do it for you, because you've done it over and over again, you know what to review, you know what to fix there, it's going to be easy. Where do your leads comes from? Where are these leads coming from? If Sometimes our marketing strategy can say, oh, we are going to do A, B, C. If you realize that B is giving more result, that means you have to reduce how much you spend on A and C. Maybe you must know out of all your strategies, which one is bringing better result. The one that is bringing better result is the one you spend more money, is the one you increase to do more in that direction. In your marketing, what works best for you? So you must identify that. What are your biggest challenges? List your top 3 marketing goals and who is responsible, and you put completion date. In marketing, it is not marketing if it's about, oh, I just tell people I'm selling this thing. I must have a goal. Maybe when I wake up tomorrow Monday, I want to say, okay, our marketing plan is that we are getting out. And this week, we want to secure 2 clients. For us to secure 2 clients, that's our goal. Those 2 clients are our goals. What do we need to do? How many offices do I need to visit? How many places do I need to take my proposal to secure this? And if I have done it over and over again, I have done it repeatedly, that is to tell us that we might need to do more of that. Maybe I don't even need to even wake up very early to say we want to go to anywhere. Maybe I just need to capitalize on email. Maybe I need to just send reminders. Maybe I have forwarded my proposals. Maybe what I need to just do is to say, okay, tomorrow is Monday. I need to send a reminder. Maybe I need to send newsletters. I need to put newsletter on our website because I know maybe through our website, people are getting, they are contacting us through our website. Maybe through our social media handles, people are trying to know more about us. That means I need to, when others are saying, oh, every Monday their team go out to market, maybe our own team, every Monday what we all need to do is to spend more time on our Instagram because we know that is where our sales are coming from. So you must understand. And when you have a marketing goal, you must know who is responsible for it. Is it you? And you must put a date, a completion date. That means you must do it in a way that you must make your goals to be realistic and you must put time on those things. Define your brand and use it as a leverage. Your personal brand is key running a business. You must understand that. If you need influencers to push your brand, you need to do. I've spoken on that very well. And you fix your etiquette and understand what works in your market. What is an etiquette? Etiquette is modern ways of polite behavior. Modern way of polite behavior. What is expected of you as an entrepreneur? What is expected of your business? And you must do it. You can't afford to be in a business and you appear like you don't know what you are doing. So you must consistently do that. So even as you are trying to round up, you make your goal smart. When we are talking about you making your goal smart, you make it, you know, SMART is an acronym. You make it specific that your goals as an entrepreneur, you know what you are actually running after. You are specific. You are not confused about what you are trying to do. You make these goals to be measurable. Don't have goals that you cannot measure where you are per time. You must measure them to know where this is where we are per time. The ADS stands for achievable. Be realistic with yourself. Remember where we started that we say you must be honest with yourself. Pursue things that you know they are achievable. One of the ways to know what is achievable is you must be realistic. That is what the R there stands for. You must be realistic. And the T in your SMART says timely. For you as an entrepreneur, time is key. So you must be timely in what you do. And if there is anything I want you to please put in your mind, let me give you, please memorize these and you will need it everything you do in that business. Set goals that are specific, goals that you can measure, goals that are achievable, that you know you have the capacity to achieve, goals that are realistic, and you put time on them. So you make it smart. As an entrepreneur, make it smart. So one more thing before we go. Finally, let me say this. Starting or running a business is really exciting. It is a journey with so many learning curves and growth milestones. But be honest with yourself from the beginning. It is not going to be perfectly easy or smooth because it's a road with many bumps and potholes. But with determination and right tools, nothing pays better than a business, than your own idea. There is this fulfillment that comes with you knowing that this thing I'm building, this thing is for me. I'm not one of those people that will tell everybody to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not the solution that everyone, if everybody is an entrepreneur, then who's going to work in your business? Who's going to work for you? There are people that are not caught for this. But I tell you, entrepreneurship is hard work, but at the same time, there is nothing that pays better than entrepreneurship. I'm speaking from personal experience now. I have seen that as an entrepreneur, you can be at the lowest ebb this night, and tomorrow, if everything you are doing, if your strategy is intact and you are determined, tomorrow you can receive a call that take you to the very top, provided that you've paid the price and everything that you need to do, you've done them perfectly well. So don't start a business thinking it's going to be easy. Running a business is really, really difficult. With so many learning curves, there are things that you will do that you might not get desired result, but you will learn a lesson there. There are so many bumps on the road. Even as you grow, you understand better in business. I attend all the seminars in this world. There is part of entrepreneurship that got to do with practicality. Your experience on that job, your experience in that journey is key. It's not going to be perfectly easy or smooth because it's a road with so many bumps, but with determination, I tell you, you got something that you know that this is the future because we've paid the price and we know that things can only get better. Thank you all. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate the fact that you've decided to do this with us. Thank you so much. God bless you. Now I want to take questions, please. Please, let's talk. If you want to make contributions, if you want to ask questions, please feel free now. If your own is just contribution, please say something. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma. How are you?
Thank you. Sir K, I really want to appreciate you for this. I think this is one of the longest training I've ever invested my time to. And I must tell you, it's worth it.
Thank you.
I've honestly learned something, more than something today. And I pray it work for me. I become practical in everything I've learned today. And put it into use in my business, become productive, so that tomorrow we can also, make you proud. We can come out and say, we are one of the people you've taught, and the effect of it yielded fruit. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to that day when I'll give you a report on what we've achieved, to tell you where I am before the training, what I achieved after the training. I hope to bring that to the table in the future. So thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, ma. Thank you so much. I'm honored for that. Yes. Yes, let me, Sumbo, please. I can see your hand if you are raising your hand. We can't hear you. Can you please speak louder?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, sir. I really want to appreciate you for taking time out to share all these ideas with us. I'm really happy I've learned some things today. But there is this question that is bothering my mind, which is it possible for you to be an entrepreneur and at the same time be into career? Can you run entrepreneurship and career together? That's my question.
Yes. I'm coming to you, Mr. Adekunle. I'm coming to you, sir. Let me quickly say this. It is possible to combine these, but at a stage, one must give way for the other. Sometimes our business might not have gotten to a stage that we think we can live our life based on that business. And for us not to kill that business prematurely, it is better for us to continue, provided we know that what we are doing will give us the time that is needed to work on our business. But I want to say this. It is either you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to be a career person, that you want to work for someone. There must be a divine moment that you have to decide that this is for me, this is what I want to do. But for a start, we can start that way. We can start that way till when we are able to sustain, to balance things, and we key into that. But entrepreneurship, based on all these things that we've been sharing since yesterday, you will agree with me, is something that requires a lot of effort, a lot of time. But sometimes, until we understand how the market works, I was coming from Nigeria. When I got to this place, I was thinking like, I cannot just start all over again to go on, because I have worked, I moved to entrepreneurship, start doing things for myself. But I got to another place where I need to, beyond financial whatever, I need to understand how market thinks here. I need to understand how they do their things here, especially in my own sector, the creative sector. Then I told myself, I need to get a job to first sustain myself, to support my family, till the point that I think I can move to what I need to do. But every single day that I'm doing something for someone else, there is something in my mind. I know that is not where I belong. I know I'm going somewhere, and I keep working on my vision. And even where I've been able to, when I was engaged with another organization, I realized that even there, one thing I was trying to do is to see how the corporate environment, how some of these things that they do, how these people think, how they react, how to. So I never lost focus, because I know that is not where I belong. So for an entrepreneur that is still working for someone, I think you can keep building yourself. You can keep doing your research, thinking what you need to fix around yourself. But it's not something that you can keep working for people and still thinking and pushing business for the rest of your life. It's something that at a point you must decide what you want to do and you go for it. Mr. Shew.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I really salute your courage and your help in bringing people up in the field of entrepreneurship. My question is this: how can you evaluate a market that is boundless? A market that is boundless. For example of such market is agricultural market in Nigeria. How can you evaluate it so that you can expand, or you can tag this market in your business plan, so it can be tagged in business? How can you evaluate it? Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. That is a valuable question. Okay, I know. Yes. I know. Thank you, sir. Yes. When you're talking about how to do that, honestly, when you are in a market that is so big, that is so massive,